And striker Seb Palmer-Holden, whose name scans perfectly with the baseline from Seven Nation Army. And they have, Stuart Pearce, got players who could possibly cause damage. Rugged and ready and physical is how Graham Coughlin described their top goal scorer, Will Evans, to me. He's from a family of Welsh farmers. He'll be desperate to get on the score sheet and capture the attention of the nation today.
Well, this is arguably one of the biggest games that Newport have ever played. The place is bouncing at the moment. The fans are up for it, there's no doubt. And if their fans get in the face, their players get in the face of the United players, could be a very uncomfortable afternoon for them.
We've got our Welsh reporter Lawrence Mora behind the goal as the players come out. Lawrence, the noise is incredible in here. No, we'll go back to Lawrence. That's how loud it is. He can't even hear me. You've got a touch of Anfield Academy with on loan Adam Lewis on the Newport side as well. Let's get real. Newport are not exactly ripping up trees in the bottom half of League Two, but then Manchester United are not exactly ripping up trees in the Premier League either. And one thing we need to talk about, Stuart Pearce, before commentary gets underway, as the teams line up in front of us. Before the game, Erik ten Hag has been asked about Marcus Rashford and his absence by a television station. He's been seen in a nightclub on Thursday as well. He was asked the same question in different ways 3 times. All 3 times Ten Hag replied, it's an internal matter. So he's not here today. He's back at Carrington training apparently, but was seen in a nightclub Thursday. What do you make of it? Well,
it's a big blow for Ten Hag. He's got to deal with yet another problem that isn't just football related. He's dealing with enough questions about the performance of his team on occasion this season. He's dealing with another situation. He's all about, so it seems, discipline, about one of his better academy players that's come through the system, and you're expecting the likes of Rashford to lead the team out of the wilderness, not go to nightclubs wherever he may be.
Well, let's get ready for the game itself. No Rashford, no problem. We still have a 4th round FA Cup tie, and the only UK-wide radio station with commentary of this one here is the one you're with, Talksport. League Two Newport haven't lost since Christmas. They have a goal scorer and some serious passion from these stands. Manchester United are not the giants they once were. So could Newport do what Maidstone did? Live from Rodney Parade, it's another Cup Classic. Newport against Manchester United on Talksport with FA Cup finalist Stuart Pearce alongside Jim Proudfoot.
And sometimes the victory is just being here at all. It was 35 years ago that the original Newport County were wound up, crippling debts, bringing an end to a club who'd been staples of the Football League since the early 1920s. A huge blow for the community, for supporters old and young alike, who would no longer be able to make the short journey to Somerton Park to watch the Ironsides in action. The Phoenix Club was born. Disagreements with the FAW led to them playing in the Hellenic League at step 4 of the pyramid, as it was then. Home matches in the Cotswold town of Morton in Marsh, some 70 miles away, and that journey was some undertaking. But the club's journey back home over the next few years was even more so. That episode in Newport's history, remembered by the club's nickname of the Exiles, a crucial period that galvanised the support, moulded the identity of the reborn entity, and such was their progress. They celebrated their 25th anniversary by being back in the Football League. The story didn't end there. They've had some epic cup triumphs in the recent past. They stayed in the league thanks to a goal in the 89th minute of the final game under Michael Flynn. They knocked Leeds out of the cup, came within 8 minutes of beating Tottenham. 5 years ago, Leicester succumbed here. And now the reborn Newport County can emulate both that team and their original incarnation by reaching round 5. Newport have Townsend in goal, McLaughlin, Clark, Bennett, Delaney and Lewis, Charsley, Morris and Wildig, Evans and Palmer-Holden. Manchester United in all white, Altai in goal, Dallo, Varane, Martinez and Shaw, Maino and Casemiro, Anthony, Bruno Fernandes and Garnacho, and Hoyland. The roar indicates that David Coote has got the game underway. Newport, amber shirts, black shorts, kicking from left to right here at Rodney Parade towards the south end of the ground that houses the Manchester United supporters, some 1,400 or so of them. And Bruno Fernandes clips the ball forward for Garnacho, runs out of play past him for a throw that'll be taken on the Newport County right-hand side. Delighted to say that former FA Cup finalist and England captain Stuart Pearce is alongside me. Stuart, if any of the Newport players had asked you for any advice before this game, how to deal with the occasion, with the biggest game of their careers, what would you have told them?
Well, what I would say is probably don't let Manchester United off the hook. Early on, get the ball, get them turned round, and make sure you win every challenge and make it an aggressive encounter for your team. That will be the first starting point of this game. And to be fair to Newport, they've done exactly that. The ball has been played and it's been permanently in United's half in these first few seconds.
Winners of this one go to Bristol City or Nottingham Forest in round 5. And we'll recap everything that's happened today and the 5th round draw for you as this first half progresses. With 90 seconds in, you're with Talksport. Jim Bradford and Stuart Pearce talking through the action from Rodney Parade in South Wales. It's been a beautiful, if slightly brisk, afternoon in this part of the world. The ball back with Altay, who's played in the Turkish Cup semi-final in his past, making both his FA Cup and Manchester United debut today. He's played in Istanbul derbies, and he plays it forward here for Lisandro Martinez.
Just looking at the United lineup in the build-up in their own half, Darlow's gone into midfield as basically the holding player in midfield positionally, and he's the one looking to try and get on the ball, with a Casemiro just pushing on further than himself in that respect. So that inverted fullback situation Darlow's doing and offering a 3-man build-up in Varane, Martinez and Shaw.
That was something that worked really effectively for them in the 3rd round win at Wigan, although he's coming off the other flank to make his way into the middle on that occasion. Here's Garnacho wriggling inside the penalty area, but it's cleared by McLaughlin, who was born on the Bronx in New York. Now the Irishman playing at right wing back in the 5 here for Newport. But it's Manchester United who will bring it forward now with Diogo Dalot. And towards the right-hand touchline. Left-footed ball fizzed in and just wide of the diving Townsend. It's beautifully flighted in. And Townsend diving away to his right-hand side. Very grateful to see that one just go past his post. A great strike from Anthony.
Yeah, I think every time Anthony picks the ball up, you don't expect him to score, you know, so it was probably no surprise when that didn't end up nestling in the back of the net.
That's brutal. 3 minutes into the game.
Thank you.
Anthony, 8 goals in 66 games for Manchester United, none of which have come this season. Has actually come into this on a 31-game goal drought. Townsend getting the ball away, the Antiguan international goalkeeper, or Birmingham City trainee, playing between the sticks for Newport. And just a little shove in the midfield by Casemiro into the back of Harry Charsley, and the free kick will be taken by Newport. Newport's league position of 16th in League 2 has them 76 places below Manchester United. Of course, they were to overturn that today. It wouldn't be the biggest deficit that's been overturned over the course of 4th round weekend, with Maidstone defying almost a 100% deficit to Ipswich yesterday, live on Talksport. Manchester United defending this free kick with almost an artificially high line outside the penalty area, a good 12 yards or so. There are 2 Newport players standing behind that in a deliberately offside position. One of them, Evans, just peels back now. The ball bypassing him, headed away from the edge of the penalty area and then swept clear by Garnacho. But it'd be picked up on the left-hand side by Lewis. And the Liverpool loanee with an excellent ball finds McLaughlin. High right-footed delivery from him is headed away. And out to Anthony on the Manchester United right. Boos for him whenever he picks up possession. He will play it back for Dalot. Dalot to his goalkeeper Altay, who's looked comfortable with the ball at his feet in the early stages. And he chips it forward towards Bruno Fernandes. I think Anthony's going to have the monopoly on the boos this afternoon. I think nearly every high-profile Manchester United player will be reminded that he's the enemy by the locals here. Here is Bruno again, right in front of us, about 7 or 8 yards inside the Manchester United half. Luke Shaw, back for Lisandro Martinez. It's the first ever meeting between these two sides. Perhaps a little bit unsurprisingly, Newport coming into it in decent form, have won 3 in a row, unbeaten in 7, good home record as well that's seen him only lose twice in the league here and a couple of cup defeats as well, but 4 defeats in 21 at home is a pretty tidy return for them. Shaw bringing it forward, well won back on the Newport right hand side by Bryn Morris, who was part of the Grimsby side that reached the quarter-finals last season. And Martinez gets on the end of his ball for, which was intended for Charsley. He's able to head it back to Altai, no problem. 6 minutes gone, Stuart. 0-0, and neither side able to get a foothold in the game, but that's to Newport's credit that so far they've been every bit Manchester United's equal.
Yeah, they certainly have started really well, turned United round when they've had the opportunity, and playing a really solid sort of back five, if you like, but they've got to be careful. Runners dipping in behind them, got to make sure they stay with them.
And now Bruno Fernandes trying to stab it on towards Anthony. Hits back for Bruno, and it's in. And it has taken barely 6 minutes for Manchester United to find the lead. Fernandes stabbing it forward. Anthony making a run down the left-hand side of the penalty area. Pulled it back, and Bruno Fernandes rifled it into the bottom left-hand corner. 6 minutes in, Exile's heart's broken, but they've made a good start, even though they trail by a goal to 0.
Well, a super start for Manchester United, hitting the back of the net so early, but it was that movement in behind. The back five's fine. You've got to stay with your runners and be tight to your men. They didn't do that. Anthony done extremely well, I've got to say, in pulling it back for probably the last man that Newport wanted to see on the ball with a clear sight at goal, Bruno Fernandes, who finished very, very clinically.
He's now scored in a third successive FA Cup tie. Penalty in the final last season and in round 3 at Wigan, and a 7th minute opener here. Manchester United, a goal to the good. The first real sight of Townsend's goal. Casemiro's got it in the midfield, inside the centre circle, plays it back for Lisandro Martinez. Newport clearly have to make sure that psychologically they don't let that early adversity affect them. Back he goes for Lisandro Martinez again. Garnacho making a darting run. He's pulled it back for Shaw instead. And Shaw towards the edge of the penalty area finds Altai Bindir. And forward it goes towards Dallow in this inverted full-back role again. Chipped over the top. Retreating Bennett can head that one away. White bandage around his right arm. High up and under from Newport down towards Will Evans. It was beautifully controlled by Newport's top scorer. Shaw with the challenge, no foul. And Manchester United will be able to bring it forward here again with Bruno Fernandes. Hoyland making a darting run ahead of him. Fernandes stops, turns it back through the midfield. Shaw unable to get on Garnacho's ball. Wasn't quite expecting it at that angle. And it goes out of play for a goal kick, which will be taken away to our left-hand side by Nick Townsend. Newport 0, Manchester United 1.
Yeah, the problem probably Graham Coughlin's got to solve at this moment in time for his Newport team is Darlow's gone into midfield to make it the midfield 3 of United a 4. And that's just overloading the three-man midfield of Newport and enabling them to build up nice and comfortably.
Let's go pitch side. Talksport's Lawrence Moore in front of those Manchester United supporters. Lawrence?
Yeah, it's been a really bright start by United and welcomed by this crowd behind us. Packed ranks here, and I tell you what, they're making some noise. Already singing about Wembley. Surely too early for that, though.
A long way to go here. Still 81 minutes left. You're listening to Newport County against Manchester United in the FA Cup. It's live on Talksport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup. 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. Here's Seb Palmer, Holden, the young teenage striker on loan from Bristol City, who's a real firm favourite here. They had Antoine Semenyo on loan here a few years back from Bristol City. If Palmer Holden can make the same kind of progress as he did, then it's going to be a decent player. Bruno Fernandes, ball towards Garnacho. Garnacho caught there by Morris. The referee allows play to go on. Garnacho still down, injured, holding his right ankle. Dallow's overrun it, playing it forward. And Delaney was there to block. And then Palmer Holden will chase the ball down the left-hand side of the penalty area. Varane gets it back to his goalkeeper, whose first touch was poor. He was able to get it away from Palmer Holden with his second. Garnacho's now back on his feet. Manchester United still facing a relatively intense press. will try and get it out from the back. McLaughlin putting pressure on Shaw, but Mainoo's done well to turn it around the corner of Morris, and Garnacho can make his way forward. Kobbie Mainoo to his left, 3 in white in a central position for him. He's checked it back towards Bruno Fernandes. Outside him is Dalot, back for Anthony, edge of the area, and it flies over the bar.
Yeah, great build up there by United, swept it out to this left-hand side. Garnacho recovered from that horrific injury that he had just a minute ago to get up and sprint the length of the pitch, and really good setup to Anthony on the edge of the box, who just skied it.
Well, already today, West Brom 0, Wolves 2 in a Black Country derby marred by violence. Liverpool 5, Norwich 2. Watford 1, Southampton 1, with the Saints extending their unbeaten record to 22 with a stoppage time equaliser. FA Cup 5th round draw, Sheffield Wednesday or Coventry against Maidstone. Newcastle go to Blackburn or Wrexham, and that is live for you from Ewood Park tomorrow. 7:30 kick-off as Blackburn take on Phil Parkinson's High Flyers in League 2. The winners of that at home to Newcastle. Chelsea or Villa will take on Leeds or Plymouth. It's Bournemouth-Leicester. Liverpool host Watford or Southampton. Winners of this go to Bristol City or Nottingham Forest. It's Wolves-Brighton, and Manchester City are at Luton. That's how the 5th round draw unfolded. Those games will take place February 27th and 28th, and you'll hear them on Talksport and Talksport 2. Hear the 4th round replays as well in 9 and 10 days time, with Aston Villa against Chelsea, the pick of the bunch, which is going to be a Wednesday night game. Ball is in the hands of the Newport goalkeeper Nick Townsend. Townsend bringing towards the edge of his penalty area. Hoyland just standing, watching. Townsend will get it clear. Casemiro going up for it, heads it away from Evans. Chested down by Bennett, who's one of several in this Newport side who identify as a Manchester United supporter. Bennett making his 350th appearance for the Exiles today. Dalot can bring it forward. Led with the edge of the Newport penalty area. A couple of step overs. He's made good ground. Mainoo into the bottom left-hand corner. It's taken only 12 minutes for Manchester United to get a 2-goal lead. It's been an FA Cup weekend full of shocks and cup history. I don't think we're going to get one here.
Well, it's been a wonderful start to United, you've got to say, and a really, really clinical finish once again by them. Mainoo swept it literally from the right-hand side of the box, swept it across his body into the far corner. A clinical finish, and this FA Cup might be the salvation of United's season, potentially. As I say, they know they've got in the next round with the draw being made already. They'll have one eye on that, I'm sure, at some stage, and it's been a real blow to Newport and knocked the wind out of themselves.
First senior goal of Kobbie Mainoo's career. Won't be the last. It was a really good finish. Excellent play by Dalot on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Pulled back for Mainoo, who lashed it into the bottom left-hand corner. And just 13 minutes in, it's already Newport 0, Manchester United 2. Shaw poking it forward. It's hit McLaughlin, who can then play it into Shaw. And it goes out of play for a Newport throw. When you consider that they've had an effort fly just over the bar and one go just wide as well, it has been a really good start for Manchester United. One of those games, one of those days really, where it must feel when they arrived here that they've got nothing to win, everything to lose, but their start has been exemplary. They have got a corner to defend now though on the Newport right.
Well, they've had a couple of ties away to Wigan that everyone's looking at and thinking, hang on a minute, this could be tricky. I think they've done their work really well there, and certainly the way they've started this game, that is the case here.
Haven't lost an FA Cup tie away from home to lower division opposition for 40 years, since the famous defeat to third division Bournemouth, managed by Harry Redknapp back in the 83-84 season. Newport hoping to halve the deficit almost straight away. Their first corner in towards the near post. Bruno Fernandes heads it away. Lewis couldn't quite get the height on the delivery that he wanted. It's a high up and under from McLaughlin towards the edge of the box. It's helped on. Palmer Holden was lurking on the right-hand side of the penalty area, but they couldn't flick it on towards him. McLaughlin having to deal with an awkward bouncing ball in the midfield, but he finds Evans. Charsley turning under duress, gets it away from Lisandro Martinez. And Newport will be able to just calm things down at the back with Delaney, one of the Manchester United fans in this Newport team. No bigger United supporter in the Newport setup than the manager Graham Cotland, who was at Barcelona the night that they won the Champions League and the treble back in 1999. As a youngster, he was at the 1985 FA Cup final, the one that Norman Whiteside's goal won for the 10 men against Everton. Ball played over the top by Casemiro. And it's going to be chased after by Anthony over on the Manchester United right. It's really good defending, though, by Lewis, who can get it away. And he'll work it down the left-hand touchline here for Will Evans, the top scorer this season with 18 to his name. At a rate of one every other game, he's had an outstanding campaign. Scott Bennett can play in midfield, but has been playing at centre-half in recent games. Forward from him. Just evaded Charsley. Palmer Holden will chase. United again can mop up, but 3 in amber and black, putting the pressure on the Manchester United back line. They played their way out of the press very neatly, and Dallow with a clever flick can find his goalkeeper. 16 gone here on Talksport, and Manchester United already 2 goals to the good. Yeah, when you look at this United side, they're a far better team with Martinez and Shaw in it, and they just showed then the composure the pair of them played there to get out in a little triangle with Casemiro helping out as well was very good. Shaw just able to guide the ball forward here. Garnacho, plenty of space, running at Clark inside the penalty area, getting it onto his right foot. There was a shot that took a deflection off one of the Newport defenders. I think it was Bennett that just got in the line of fire. The loose ball squirts out towards the Manchester United right-hand side, but they can't make anything of it. And a turn by the XR's left back. Lewis can't quite get the ball away. And so back, Manchester United will come again with Shaw. Shaw down towards the near touchline for Garnacho. Garnacho with a cross that's headed away. Bruno Fernandes picks up the second ball. Man that scored the 7th minute opener here for United. Back for his goalkeeper Altay. From him to Varane. Newport have just switched the 2 full-backs over for the time being. Lewis on the right. McLaughlin has gone out to the left-hand side. He's now dealing with Anthony. Anthony back for Dallow. And Casemiro just plays the way that he's facing back towards his goalkeeper, and there's a lovely turn by Lisandro Martinez as it looked as though it's going to turn into trouble and lose it to Wildy. United work it forward with a long aerial ball. Garnacho on the end of that hits the bar. Rifled one towards goal, and the crossbar still reverberating as the ball spins down to the corner flag and goes out for a goal kick. Well, at this moment, Newport are at full stretch. They really are. United enjoying their afternoon's work, knocking the ball around nice and composed. Plenty of spaces to do so. But when the ball's played forward, if you've got 4 or 5 men in your back line, you cannot lose your runners. It just can't be done. So what do they do differently to how they're approaching this? Well, I think at some stage they're either going to get their wing backs are going to have to be more aggressive in getting up the pitch and putting a press on, or they might even have to change formation and go to a 4 at the back. I don't know how often Newport have switched to do that, but United have got too much space in the build-up and they can pick their moment to play the forward pass. Delaney lays the ball back. Well, they have the option of just moving Bennett actually a little bit further forward into midfield, and I think right on cue they've probably done that. And Bennett will now take a more advanced role in the midfield just to try and match them up numerically. Yeah, they've got to do that. As I said to you before, there was a situation United have pushed Dallow inside and made it 4-on-3 in that midfield area, and United were so comfortable on the ball that they could build at leisure. So it has flattened off to a 4. Lewis at left back, McLaughlin's back at right back, but Bennett pushing forward into the midfield now alongside Morris. Manchester United in comfortable possession in the midfield. 19 minutes gone. They lead by 2-0. Bruno Fernandes and Kobbie Mainoo with the goals. Don't forget, Jeff Stelling, Ali McCoy's back tomorrow morning from 6, the perfect start of the working week. Reflecting on FA Cup 4th round weekend, Mason's extraordinary victory, England's Hyderabad heroics as well, with David Lloyd and Steve Harmison amongst the guests. Also been talking about Jurgen Klopp's announcement of his impending departure from Anfield. That's Jeff and Ali back tomorrow morning. Talksport breakfast from 6. If you fancy something a little bit different on your morning commute, check out the Chris Evans Breakfast Show. Weekdays from 6:30 on Virgin Radio. You can access that via DAB or the Virgin Radio or Talksport apps. Said Palmer Holden with a good jump, trying to flick it on towards Will Evans. Will Dig helps it on from the midfield, poking it on, and Martinez sliding back, just able to stop it going out of play for a corner. Will be a throw, which will be taken on the Newport right down towards the corner flag, and McLaughlin retrieves the ball. Has got 3 FA Cup goals to his name this season. Shane McLaughlin. He won't take the throw, he's just tossed it up in the air, and Adam Lewis has got a longer throw on him. Dry the ball on the inside of his amber shirt, and now will lean back over the hoardings. Now will prepare to run up and launch a long one inside the penalty area. Gets it towards the corner of the 6-yard box. It's easily headed away though by Varane. Garnacho turning into trouble. Lewis is frustrated with himself that having won it back, he ran out of room. And it's a throw which will be taken on the Manchester United left. They lead by 2-0 Stu.
Yeah, just looking at that tactical change, as I say, Bennett stepped in from being one of the centre of the 3-man defensive line. He stepped in to be the deep line midfield player, and I think that's a good move. Whether it's too little, too late, time will tell, Jim.
Here's Palmer Holden. Casemiro's fouled him. He's lent into the 19-year-old. Has given the free kick away. Palmer Holden scored the winner against Wrexham in Newport's last game. There's an excellent leader of the line. A little bit of devilment about him as well, with the way that he celebrated the goal in front of the Wrexham support. But they love him here. And he's won this free kick. He'll make his way towards the edge of the D. United have got everybody back. The free kick itself is 18 yards outside the penalty area, something like that. A little bit of discussion about exactly how Newport want to approach this. It's going to be Bryn Morris that will stand over it. Former Middlesbrough and Portsmouth man bending it in towards the far post. It's easily headed away by the United back line. It goes out of play for a Newport throw.
Yeah, United holding a really high line there, and it's almost a little bit more confusing. It's a good tactic, to be fair. It's getting the big aggressive Newport players, keeping them well away from the goal, and it makes it a more difficult ball. You're looking to sort of dink it over the back line.
Clark trying to do that here. Bypasses Delaney. Shaw can volley it away from inside his own penalty area. And Manchester United did turn over possession. Always got a chance on the counter-attack, but they always need better service than Bruno Fernandes has provided there. With the ball straight down the left-hand touchline and then over it. And out for a throw that'll be taken by Newport. In the last 6 or 7 minutes, it probably had more possession than at any other stage, the XRs, but still they haven't allowed us to see how good our tie is yet.
No, and that's probably tied in with that slight change tactically. You know, they push players on and they're getting players tighter to United and making life slightly easier. We're just going to go talking about Fernandes here. You know, I know he gets a lot of detractors in the game. I like him. I think he's got personality and he affects games. I really do.
He's never one that shirks it on any occasion. Rolls the sleeves up. Throw taken by McLaughlin. Headed away by Casemiro. Back from Morris. And Charsley on the right-hand touchline for Newport tries to buy a throw. He can't do that. He will come back for McLaughlin, though. Good ball in from McLaughlin. Evans on the turn, bar deflection. Evans again. Straight of the goalkeeper, Altais. The first save he's had to make. Just dropped his hands down in front of his thigh and made a comfortable save. Well, that's what Will Evans is all about.
Yeah, as I say, it was a good ball played into him. I'm not sure he needed to hit the first one on the turn. Maybe get hold of it and set up a teammate at all, or get turned. But he's had a whack at it. Fortunately enough, come back to him and then swung the left foot straight down the goalkeeper's throat.
Yeah, he's scored 15 league goals this season, Evans. He's netted in all 3 cup competitions that Newport have played in as well. He made his name in the League of Wales with Cardiff Met University, and then had a spell at Barla Town, all the time working on the family farm in mid-Wales. Here Manchester United bring it away from the D on the edge of their own penalty area. 25 minutes in. Shaw playing it back for Lisandro Martinez. Casemiro able to turn in centre of midfield, former Copa del Rey winner, but surprisingly only the once with Real Madrid. And it goes to the right-hand side now for Antony, who is a completely different wavelength to Bruno Fernandes, who dropped short, wanted the ball to be pulled back away from the defender. Antony rolled it for an infield underlap for Bruno Fernandes, which he hadn't made. It goes out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by Nick Townsend away to our left-hand side. I've got one more live FA Cup tie for you this week. League 2 Wrexham travelling to Blackburn tomorrow night. Talksport 2, hoping to reach round 5 for the first time since 1997. Newcastle at home for the winners of that. It's a 7:30 kickoff. And we'll have all the fourth round replays for you as well, a week on Tuesday and Wednesday. This is the penultimate fourth round tie, and Manchester United are in complete control. Leading 2-0. That's been the way of it since the 13-minute mark. We've played another 13 since. Long clearance forward through the midfield. Helped on by Wildick, and Palmer Holden will gamely give chase, but was never likely to be able to get on the end of that. And Manchester United will bring it forward again. Over on the right-hand touchline, it's a good sliding challenge by Delaney. Puts it out for a throw that'll be taken on the United right by Antony. In fact, he's going to leave it for Diego Dalot to take. Dalot just going out of our view for a moment. It's a very low slanted roof on this main stand here at Rodney Parade, which is slightly deceptive. You can see the legs of the players over on the far touchline, but not a lot else over there. The ball is laid back for the goalkeeper. Played for by Altay. And Manchester United will bring it forward again. Bruno Fernandes. The United player just pulled back. A free kick given away by Bennett. Manchester United will use this opportunity to get the bodies forward again. The free kick over towards the right-hand touchline, but only about 15 outside the penalty area.
Yeah, it's been a comfortable afternoon so far for United. They've been not hassled too much on the ball. The build's been pretty good, and as I say, it's like everything. The goals change things and changes the momentum of both the scorers and the conceders, and it's certainly done that. It's saying that Newport have come back into the game slightly since the second goal, certainly.
Now, United have had a couple of aberrations this season when they've been in comfortable leads. Lost at Arsenal in the Premier League from 1-0 up. They lost to Copenhagen from 2-0 up in Europe. But it's a commanding 2-0 advantage that they have here. Casemiro dropping deep, just getting in between Varane and Shaw. Alessandro Martinez in an advanced position again. As United work it out towards the far touchline, their right-hand side. They're in all white. They're bringing it forward here with Bruno Fernandes. Pulling it back for Martinez. Now down towards Casemiro. Casemiro chipping it forward out to the United right. Dalot hoisting a high ball inside the penalty area, which swerves away from the goalkeeper. Garnacho brings it down and pulls it back. And a left-footed effort from Antony. Hits Delaney. Then comes back off Antony and rolls innocuously towards the goal, where Townsend can make the save.
Yeah, another good opportunity there. As I say, the problem was their cross come in the box. McLaughlin should be winning that header. He jumped under the ball, missed it totally, and then from there the opportunity come, and it's situations like that, and like on the other side with Lewis, the left wing back, you've got to get literally touch tight with your opponent. If you're a wing back playing against a wide player and they've got three up front, you've got to be touch tight every time that ball arrives at their feet.
Charsley going down on the edge of the penalty area, but nothing given. No complaints from him as he got back to his feet. Now Bruno Fernandes will help it forward, and they got Garnacho goal side and McLaughlin, who now recovers his position, but they haven't got the ball back. Now they will. Morris just shepherding it back to his goalkeeper, and hands are thrown up in the air for Hoyland, who was furious that nobody played him inside the box. But every time Manchester United push forward, Newport committing the body sport, keeping a relatively high line. So much space for Fernandes to be able to find the pacey Garnacho in behind.
Yeah, you're right, and as I say, it was a beautiful ball, just helped over the top of the back line, but the margin for error was massive. There was so much room for him to run in. He's run off the back of McLaughlin.
Well, they've got a good record against lower division opposition in the FA Cup. I mentioned earlier that it's 40 years ago this month they last lost to a lower division side away from home. Only been knocked out by 2 of the last 51 lower division sides that they faced in the FA Cup. Defeats to Leeds, the famous Jermaine Beckford goal in 2010. Penalty shootout against Middlesbrough at Old Trafford a couple of seasons ago. But other than that, they've had an unblemished record against lower division sides in the FA Cup over a couple of generations. Not so in the League Cup so much, but the FA Cup they have been by and large immune to shocks, and it looks as though that's going to continue today. They lead 2-0, they're on the front foot again. Garnacho couldn't get past McLaughlin because his touch was too heavy. Clark will clear his lines, the former Salisbury and Oxford man. And now to come back through the midfield for Diogo Dalot. Dalot out towards the right-hand side again. Anthony trying his luck, and Townsend needed to wave a hand at that to help it on his way over the bar. It goes out for a Manchester United corner.
Yeah, decent strike there. Anthony coming inside on the left foot, opened up, had a great shot, and to be fair to Townsend, the goalkeeper, made it look very, very comfortable, and he certainly had plenty of pace on it.
Townsend hasn't played in any of the notable cup successes that Newport have had over the years. He did play in the side that drew at Middlesbrough, but was left out for the replay here, which Newport won. That was a 4th round tie some 5 seasons ago. Going to have to go well to win a 4th round tie this year. Give a Manchester United a 2-0 start. United's corner, a little bit heavy, finds its way through to the right-hand side of the area. A shot comes in from Anthony, that's deflected. Townsend scrambling, can't stop it going out of play for another corner.
No, Townsend is fortunate there that he did get a hand to it, trying to keep it in play. He's fortunate it did go out, because he would have only spilt it and kept it in play to the feet of Martinez.
Yeah, he sort of flicked it, and then it hit his thigh and came back into the penalty area, but it had just gone over the line, as indicated by the assistant referee Craig Taylor over on the far side. So plenty back for Newport. In fact, everybody inside their own penalty area. Referee David Coote just keeping an eye on the pushing and shoving that's going on. He's had a word. He's now having another one. I think Rasmus Højlund is one of the players being spoken to. And still not happy, the referee, and he's now going to extricate a couple of players from that situation to have a more forceful word with them away to our left.
I've got to say, Jim, I don't know why the referee at this stage, before the corner's been taken, tells players this, that and whatever. Just let them get on with it, and if you see a free kick in there, one way or the other, give it them when play's in action.
Corner comes in, it's knocked away, and then cleared from Garnacho. Altai comes to the edge of the centre circle, and then hits a sidewinder right-footed straight out of play. Garnacho's now back on his feet away to our left-hand side, having gone down inside the box, complaining that he should have had a penalty. No VAR for this FA Cup tie, as I know you know. As a consequence, nothing there to be looked at. The referee and his assistants didn't think that there was a case to answer. It's going to be a throw that will be taken by McLaughlin here for Newport, who trail 2-0 here on Talksport. The goals from Bruno Fernandes and Kobbie Mainoo. Mainoo scoring the first of his career in his 14th senior appearance for Manchester United. What a fantastic breakthrough season he's having. Ball thrown down the line, chased by Palmer Holden, headed away. Throw that Newport will take down towards the corner flag. Graham Coughlin spent yesterday, the Newport manager. He was allowed to borrow the team minibus. He drove to Bristol Airport, picked up 14 of his family who'd flown in from Ireland for this game. He does come, as I mentioned earlier, from a family of Manchester United supporters, all here today. Said he wouldn't let them in the house afterwards if he found they'd been shouting for United, though. Ball flicked off from the long throw. It's come off the top of Delaney's head, goes through to the goalkeeper, and Altai will catch it and then bowl it out and try and get Manchester United going again on the edge of their own penalty area. Varane's forced to turn him back for his goalkeeper, and then Varane will play it forward right-footed towards Mainoo over on that right-hand touchline, the far side for Manchester United, and then chested down again by Delaney, winning it back, helped on down that left-hand side by McLaughlin, who such a change of shape and since they've gone back to a 4, he's now playing at left back with Lewis on the right. And it goes out of play for a throw that'll be taken again by Manchester United over on that far side. Still leading, and leading comfortably, Stuart Pearce, by 2 goals to 0.
Yeah, they certainly are. 2 very, very clinical finishes as well. Goalkeeper, absolutely no chance with him, but
Garnacho chases and is offside.
Well, that's the first time this half United have played the ball in behind Newport's back line, and there's been an offside flag come up, because all the other times the runs have been good, the passes have been good, and that's what's undone Newport so far.
Now let's go back pitch side away to our right-hand side behind the goal that Newport attacking. Here's Talksport's Lawrence Mora. Lawrence?
And one of the big things I can pick up is Lisandro Martinez, and his influence on this back line is so impressive. Constantly talking to Varane, pulling him around and working with his goalkeeper. Inexperienced, but Martinez leading him through it.
Yeah, when you consider that he's 5 years Varane's junior, that's impressive. Shot comes in! Wonderful strike from Morris that took an inflection on its way through. Hits the inside of the post, and Newport are back in the tie with a howitzer from 25 yards. What a goal! And whatever happens from here on in, that is a moment they will never, ever forget here. The day they scored against Manchester United from way outside the box. Newport 1, Manchester United 2. It is game on again.
That's the beauty of the cup. They've literally not been in this game for the first 36 minutes. Then all of a sudden there's been a skirmish, a header's dropped down, and one of the most crispest sort of half volleys you'll wish to meet. He's hit it brilliantly. The deflection's helped out, and it's flown in the far corner. Oh, wonderful, wonderful strike. Game on again.
And listen to what it's done to the atmosphere as well. Lawrence, you had a fantastic view of that as it flew in just in front of you.
Sheer pace beat the goalkeeper there. It flew off Casemiro's deflection, off his head and in off the post. And listen, the scenes in that stand of celebration were fantastic.
Bryn Morris, as I mentioned earlier, part of the Grimsby side that is a League Two team, made it through to the quarter-finals last season, taking Premier League scalp of Southampton en route. Not a prolific goal scorer, but he'll never forget that. Manchester United immediately trying to restore their 2-goal advantage. But McLaughlin can hammer the ball away from Bruno Fernandes and out of play. And what that goal does bring is more than a modicum of self-belief.
Well, that is an understatement of the highest order, Jim. Literally, they've been out of this game dead and buried with 2 early goals from Manchester United. And all of a sudden, the crispest of finish you'll ever wish to see has brought Newport and the crowd back into the game.
And just have a listen to Rodney Parade is rocking. Bobby Maynard getting the ball back for Manchester United in the midfield. Newport have had as many shots on target as United so far, 3 apiece. Possession almost 3/4, 1/4 in Manchester United's favour, and they have it again now. Anthony played forward, Hoyland trying to feather it into the path of Bruno Fernandes. Varane back out towards Diogo Dalot. Dalot again, dropping his shoulder, can't find a way past Lewis, and the ball will be cleared up the Newport left-hand side by Clark, and deflects out of play for a throw. Well, Bryn Morris will never forget it. As I mentioned, nobody here that supports Newport County will ever forget that moment.
No, they certainly won't. That was an incredibly crisp strike, and what it's done, it's given them belief. I don't think there was any belief in the team before that. United have been very good, very workmanlike, good with their passing, created chances, scored 2. But all of a sudden, goals change games, and this might well have done.
Well, their home form this season, they've beaten the bottom 4 here. They've also beaten each of the top 2 in League 2 here, Stockport and Wrexham. They've beaten League 1 Charlton in the League Cup. They took Brentford to penalties in that same competition. And now, despite the fact that they've been second best for 36 minutes, They've halved the deficit and they're back in the game. The whole dynamic of the afternoon feels as though it might have changed a little. Delaney heads the ball away. Lewis will clatter it high up the left-hand touchline. Varane backpedaling, heads it away before Palmer Holden can get to it. Dallow with a little back heel flick. One back though by Newport. The Exiles with Morris turn it forward. McLaughlin making his way forward towards the edge of the penalty area. And McLaughlin followed every step of the way by Garnacho. He's been able to pull it back for Scott Bennett. Bennett taking on Garnacho, getting towards the corner flag, wrapping his right foot around it in towards the near post. Evans with a little step over. Sandro Martinez was there to clear from the edge of the 6-yard box. Hoyland backpedaling. Ends up in a heap with Clark on the deck. Play goes on. Newport clears. A really good jump. Brought down on the edge of the area by Charsley. Goal scorer Morris will take it. Oh, it's a handball by Shaw. And it's a free kick to Newport County. Level with the edge of the Manchester United penalty area.
Well, the atmosphere is cranking up here now. Newport have got extra vigour in their movement, their step, their pressing, all that much better. Hoyland should have done a lot better up the front end of the team, and it's probably a part of his game he's got to work on. He needs a little bit of Mark Hughes' mentality about him, but he lost the ball, and all of a sudden Newport have got a free kick on the point of the box just to the right-hand side in front of us.
So Morris, McLaughlin and Wildig all discuss what's going to happen. And Wildig now peels away, so too does Morris. There's one in the wall, that's Garnacho.
This ball's got a whiz right over Garnacho's head between defence and goalkeeper.
McLaughlin pulling it short of the edge of the penalty area. It was a low scuff effort from Morris that was by no means a replica of the strike from 5 minutes ago. United will be able to clear and get it upfield very quickly for Anthony. Hoyland has it. I don't know whether Morris's adrenaline was still coursing through his veins and fancied his chances of being able to ping another one in from outside the box, but just didn't get hold of that.
Well, he's a confident young man. I've worked with him when I done some coaching at Portsmouth with Kenny Jackett, and certainly you can't say don't have another shot after the first one he delivered.
Only the 14th goal he's ever scored in his career. They've come at a rate of about 1 every 18 games, which shows you was a collector's item. The Teesside has scored. It was a wonderful strike, and the deflection did wonders for it. But nevertheless, a magnificent hit. And the cup tie is back on here. Newport 1, Manchester United 2. Live on Talksport and live across North America as well on Sirius XM FC. Good morning to you out there. Here's Bruno Fernandes. Luke Shaw controlling it on the edge of the penalty area. It's just flicked away initially by Will Evans. Bruno Fernandes poking it forward. Good challenge from McLaughlin. Evans just caught by Casemiro. And a free kick to Newport. That was an easy out for them because they were just getting hemmed in there, but foul by Casemiro has given them an easy out.
Yeah, it certainly was, but I think there was a little bit of naivety there from the referee. You know, Evans just went to ground very, very cheaply, and Casemiro just happened to be the one stood near him, and a judge to have given a free kick against him, and he's still shaking his head now, and I tend to agree with him.
90 seconds to go to half-time. There will be a little bit of time to be added on at the end of this first half. The game certainly needed a Newport response. The atmosphere had got a little bit flat, as if all the air had been taken out of the balloon with those two very early goals, but someone's pumped it up again now. Manchester United still over the whole piece, over the whole first 45 minutes, thoroughly deserving their lead. 2-1 up. Such a boon as well for Erik ten Hag that he's got his first choice centre-half partnership back in Varane and Lisandro Martinez. It's the first time they've been able to play together since the third week of the league season. They've had 10 different centre-half partnerships, Manchester United, in all competitions this season.
That's a tough one to sustain as well. You know, there's a lot of criticism coming United's way, but the injury to Martinez and probably Luke Shaw as well, these are top quality players, they really are.
That's a great piece of control there by Shaw. It looks as though the ball's going to go out of play for a Newport throw, and he stretched out the left foot and just killed the ball on the top of his left foot, wins it back. His teammates had given it away and then won it back. Mainu getting it away from Morris. Now towards Bruno Fernandes, helped forward by him. Garnacho thought he was offside. He's left the ball. Bruno Fernandes was onside. He played the ball forward and ran onto it himself. But fires across in, which is far too fast and high for Anthony. And it goes out of play for a Newport throw as we go into 2 minutes of added time at the end of this first half.
Well, I think these last 2 minutes, Newport will be delighted, and Graham will be delighted to get his team into the dressing room 2-1, because on the run of play, Jim, they've been nowhere near it, Newport, but they've stuck with it, and they've got a wonderful goal that's given them a hell of a lifeline, and it's given them a big lift, as you can see in their mentality now.
Manchester United play it forward again. That outball towards Garnacho is something they've looked for on a consistent basis. It's McLaughlin that's dealing with him at the moment, but he's passed it on towards Luke Shaw. Sliding challenge from Charsley, could get it out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Manchester United left. 2-1 United in stoppage time on Talksport. Yeah,
as I say, I think Newport will be delighted to go in 2-1 down on the run of play, that is for sure, and it gives them a lifeline in this second half to have a big hurrah at United.
Ball from Lisandro Martinez to Luke Shaw, and again Garnacho's made the run, he's onside, he's pulled it back but can't find Bruno Fernandes. Cleared this time by Bennett, and out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the United left. The closing seconds of what has been an absorbing first 45 minutes, certainly the last 10 minutes or so of it, after the Newport goal. Manchester United, after that flying start, Shaw took a throw. There was another ball on the pitch for a moment. That's been retrieved. And so play restarts. Rafa Varane has got the ball inside the centre circle. Play to his right-hand side for Diogo Dalot. Now out towards Anthony. Controlling it, running at Lewis. Always wanting to check back onto his left foot and turn back inside. Little 1-2 between him and Dalot. Good movement off the ball here. It's Fernandes, straight at the goalkeeper, and McLaughlin is there on the follow-up to knock it away. And that's the last action of the first half. It's a standing ovation for the Exiles players as they leave the field back in the game after that spectacular effort from Bryn Morris. Let's go pitch side. Lawrence Morrow.
Yeah, listen, the noise of half-time was a little bit of relief, but I'll tell you what, the Newport County fans have not stopped singing throughout. Incredible. Very quiet from the Manchester United fans. Certainly after that goal from Newport, it just quieted them down, and they're looking a little pensive at half-time.
Fernandes and Mainu, 2 goals in the space of 6 minutes. Manchester United racing into a very early 2-0 lead. Bryn Morris has pulled one back spectacularly. Half-time at Rodley Parade. Newport County 1, Manchester United 2.
As the players walk towards the tunnel in the corner away to our right, and they are walking. I think they put a lot into that, those Newport players, just to get back in. Just looking at Bryn Morris in his number 8 shirt, born in Hartlepool, as was Jeff Stelling, who's back on breakfast tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. with Ali McCoist. Among the guests, David Lloyd and Steve Harmison, after that incredible first test win for England in India, live and exclusive and only on Talksport to the next test Friday, 3:30 a.m. But what a first half. I think most of us thought, wow, 1 down after 6, 2 down after 12. This is going to be a long, long 90 minutes or so for Newport County. But I love the fact, Stuart Pearce, that they regrouped, got themselves a little bit of confidence, suddenly got, I wouldn't say they had control of the game, but they were in the game. They weren't going to capitulate, they weren't going to lie down and just take it from Manchester United, and they've got themselves back in it. That third goal in the game was crucial. Newport had to get it, and they did.
Well, listen, Aid, they were absolutely nowhere near the game at 2-0 down, and then the tactical changes definitely helped them. Bennett has stepped in from being the centre of a 3-man backline into the midfield and even the numbers up in midfield. And from that moment on, Newport, whilst they've been under the pump a little bit, they've certainly not under the pump like they were for the first echelons of the game when they ended up going 2-0 down. So good tactical change from the manager. Well done to him. And from that, what a strike that was for the goal. And everyone was flat, to be fair, and sometimes in games like this, certainly when you're the underdog, someone in your team has got to do something to bring everyone to the party and give everyone a lift, whether it be on the pitch or off it. And certainly that goal has done that for Newport.
So what will they be thinking in the dressing room right now, that they've got a chance? And there's a 2-0 down, you're thinking they really don't have a chance. The quality, the chasm of quality between the two, they didn't have a chance. At 2-1 down, it's surely next goal is a glory.
As a manager now, you're selling the dream to your team. You're saying, we're in this, we're 2-1 down, we've got every opportunity, you know, let's get after them, let's squeeze on. Since we've made that change and Bennett's gone into midfield, the game's been more and even. That's what you spin to your players. Whether you think to yourself, my goodness, we've been outplayed all the game and managed to get a goal and we got half a chance now. United's point of view, let's get the next goal. We've dominated them and they've got a goal out of the blue. That's Ten Hag's mentality. So 2 different dressing room speeches, but you've got to sell a dream to each individual team. Yeah,
well, Newport will feel that dream is possible after that wonder goal from Bryn Morris. Let's see what the second half brings. It's going to be live and exclusive. The only UK-wide radio station with commentary of this one is Talksport. And amidst the noise here at Rodney Parade, half-time, it's Newport 1, Manchester United 2.
The Emirates FA Cup live on Talksport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup and Adobe Women's FA Cup. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
You know what it's like when you're on that hot new celeb socials and she's got a hot bag but hasn't tagged where it's from. Ugh. Well, the new Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra can help. Just draw a circle around anything on the screen and boom, circle to search with Google, we'll find it online. Who's the hot one now, eh?
Epic Search is here. Pre-order at Samsung.com by the 30th of January and we'll double your storage to 512 gigabytes for the price of 256. Operates as a price discount. T's and C's apply.
At Barclays, we know money can be tricky to navigate. We're here to help you find your way around it. Barclays Life Skills gives you the skills and knowledge to help you become more confident with money. So whether it's learning to keep track of your spending or interview tips to help you secure that new job, we've got you covered. Join the millions we've helped so far. Search Barclays Life Skills. Barclays. Make money work for you.
Home workouts becoming a bit of a stretch? Get way more classes for your cash at Pure Gym with unlimited sessions at no extra cost.
Hold up. What if I need to cancel?
There's no contract, just way more flex for your fee. And for all you night owls, enjoy way more midnight runs for your money too, with 24/7 access. All from just $17.99 a month, with 50% off your first month and no joining fee for a limited time only. Pure Gym, way more than you pay for. Terms and conditions apply.
By planting 1 tree per student, we can grow a forest of freshers.
With teaching experts and staff who take the time to listen, you can join a giant, welcoming community.
Studying in a town where rent's cheaper, it starts to add up, giving you more to do more.
At the University of Huddersfield, the small stuff's taken care of, meaning you can go on to big things. Search Hood Uni. UK rents compared by Save the Student 2023. Teaching experts based on sector awards. Find out more at hood.ac.uk.
Like to mix up your lunch? Try McDonald's Big Flavour Wrap. Get a kick with spicy veggie. Go big and bold with barbecue and bacon. Creamy with Caesar and bacon. Extra saucy with fajita chicken. Or go sweet with today's $1.99 wrap of the day, the sweet chili chicken one. Served from 11 a.m. Price may vary. Wrap of the day discount not available on delivery orders. Subject to availability.
Have you ever had a first date with your next day delivery driver in the back of his van and tried desperately to think of things you have in common?
Well, I am an Aquarius with a Capricorn moon.
I did the quiz online and I'm a Hufflepuff.
What's that then?
Harry Potter.
Never seen it.
Friendship in all its glory. Big Boys on Channel 4. Stream now or watch Sundays at 10.
Stop smoking this new year and good things start to happen. You'll feel healthier and be taking the stairs 2 at a time before you know it. You no longer need 12 air fresheners hanging in your car. You'll have more money in your pocket. Your hands get kept busy in other ways, like throwing a frisbee in the park for your kids or someone else's dog. Stopping smoking is the best thing you can do for your health. There's still time to make 2024 the year you quit. For free support, search Smoke Free.
And to find the car you're looking for, visit arnoldclark.com.
Do you belong here? Next to me on an anti-poaching operation. 2 days drive from anywhere. What's your gut saying? Want to change the radio station?
In sport this week.
Or jump in and keep us company? Still listening? You belong here. Army. Recruiting now. Search Army jobs.
You know what it's like when you're on that hot new celeb socials and she's got a heart bag but hasn't tagged where it's from. Ugh. Well, the new Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra can help. Just draw a circle around anything on the screen and boom. Circle to search with Google. We'll find it online. Who's the hot one now, eh?
Epic Search is here. Pre-order at Samsung.com by the 30th of January and we'll double your storage to 512 gigabytes for the price of 256. Operates as a price discount. T's and C's apply.
At Ladbrokes, Instant Spins is more packed, more charged, and more exciting than ever. With 3 new wheels to choose from. Spin Casino, Sports, and even Slots. To win bonuses, free spins, and cash prizes. Instant Spins. Free to play at Ladbrokes.
18 plus. Max 1 spin per customer per day. Rewards are cash, casino bonuses, free spins, free bets, bingo tickets. Reward restrictions and T's and C's apply. Take time to think.
Levitate above the humdrum.
FA Cup Game Day Live
On Talksport.
Talksport live at Rodney Parade, where we've had a cracking first half. Second half to come, but it's Newport 1, Manchester United 2. Let's have a look at the half-time highlights in partnership with Carling.
The Emirates FA Cup halftime highlights on Talksport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup and Adobe Women's FA Cup. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
Back for Bruno, and it's in. And it has taken barely 6 minutes for Manchester United to find the lead. Fernandes stabbing it forward. Anthony making a run down the left-hand side of the penalty area. Pulled it back, and Bruno Fernandes rifled it into the bottom left-hand corner. A couple of step-overs, he's made good ground. Mainu into the bottom left-hand corner. It's taken only 12 minutes for Manchester United to get a 2-goal lead. It's been an FA Cup weekend full of shocks and cup history. I don't think we're going to get one here. Shot comes in. Wonderful strike from Morris that took an inflection on its way through. It's the inside of the post. And whatever happens from here on in, that is a moment they will never, ever forget here. Newport 1, Manchester United 2. It is game on again.
Well, imagine Newport come out and get an early goal second half. Suddenly we will have a magnificent cup tie with Man United on the wobble. But no, Newport 1, Man United 2, live on Talksport. It's all thanks to Carling.
The Emirates FA Cup halftime highlights on Talksport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup and Adobe Women's FA Cup. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
So earlier today, Liverpool, live on Talksport, beat Norwich 5-2 to set up a fifth-round tie at home to either Watford or Southampton. Saints got a late equaliser at Vicarage Road in a 1-1 draw today in their tie. Jurgen Klopp has been speaking to Joe Shannon after the victory and also after announcing he'll be leaving the club at the end of the season.
Knowing it is one thing, but then telling everybody is something else. When that was gone, I was relieved that it's now finally said it. I didn't take the decision lightly. I didn't take anything lightly in that sense, and I knew it will be not. This will be tough for the people, just because the relationship we created over the years. So today, the people showed me, and we won the game anyway. They sang it, and we won the game and scored again after that. They can do what they want, and they know as well. For today, it was fine, but on Wednesday we need a real football atmosphere, an Anfield atmosphere. It's against Chelsea. It's against a top team who now got started, if you want, and we have to make sure we are really ready for that. And then the people will do that exactly the same way. So it was a wonderful atmosphere. Thank you very much. Really tough for Ulla to understand, to be honest. She is much more emotional than I am in the moment, but that will change towards the end of the season, obviously.
You'll never walk alone before the game. That felt particularly powerful today, wasn't it? Was that emotional for you, that version?
Yeah. I'm not made of wood, so I get all that, definitely.
And is it nice to be back to the normality of football matches?
If you call that today normality of football matches, I would say, yeah, it's cool, but I would say it was not normal. It was quite special. But we need, I don't have to say that. So we need football atmosphere, and we will have. I'm not in doubt about that. But for the day, thank you very much.
There you go, Jurgen Klopp speaking to Talksport's Joe Shannon after their 5-2 victory earlier this afternoon. Elsewhere in the FA Cup today, there were horrible scenes at the Hawthorns that will be investigated and punished, I'm sure. Fans fighting, fans invading the pitch, players plucking their kids from the stands to take them to safety. Play had to be suspended for half an hour. Wolves ended up winning the tie at West Brom by 2-0. Well, West Bromwich Albion Football Club has issued a statement saying it condemns in the strongest terms the unsavoury scenes which disrupted Sunday's Black Country derby at the Hawthorns. The match was halted in the 78th minute of the FA Cup fourth round tie against Wolves after crowd disturbances. They say the club will work with West Midlands Police and the Football Association to fully investigate the incidents which resulted in a suspension to the game. Any individual involved in the disorder will be subject to a club ban in addition to potential criminal investigation. The club will make no further comment until the conclusion of a full and thorough investigation. Well, there are enough people with mobile phones taking footage of it, and there should be CCTV. I'll be amazed if they can't identify a good number of those that were involved. But scenes we don't want to see at any game, at any level at all. And after the incident at Port Vale yesterday with a fan running onto the pitch chasing the referee because he didn't like a decision that he made. Absolutely astonishing things going on in English football at this moment in time. Let me run through the FA Cup fifth round draw for you. Blackburn or Wrexham, that's tomorrow night, that tie, by the way. Live on Talksport 2, Blackburn against Wrexham. Hugh Wozencroft, your host for that. They take on Newcastle United. Whoever wins that at home to Newcastle. Chelsea or Villa, they've got a replay. Take on at home Leeds or Plymouth. A replay down in Devon for that one. Bournemouth against Leicester in an all Premier League. Leicester in their Championship. I've said before they're a Premier League side waiting to go up. Liverpool at home to Watford or Southampton. Bristol City or Nottingham Forest will take on the winners of this. Newport or Manchester United. Wolves take on Brighton in what is an all Premier League affair. Sheffield Wednesday or Coventry against National League South Maidstone United. Is it winnable, or is that a disappointing draw for them? You decide. Luton Town against Manchester City makes up the last of the fifth round ties. And a bit of transfer news for you. There's loads on the website, by the way, talksport.com, if you want to check out all the transfer stories and gossip that's going on right now. But Morgan Rogers is apparently pushing Middlesbrough to allow him to join Aston Villa, as we understand it. Villa have submitted an increased offer of £15 million for Rogers, so that's one to watch in the final few days of the transfer window. You can hear the noise behind me, and the fact is the Newport are on their way out. And I've got to say, for a side that's 16th in League Two, the fans absolutely love them. They love the manager as well. There's a big connection between players and staff and the fans here at Rodney Parade, no doubt about that. And they've seen them do it before. They were 2 down at home to Forest Green after half an hour on Boxing Day, and they came back to win it by 4-2. One wonders if they could possibly do something similar again as we await Manchester United coming out. The Newport players are out there just milling around, having a chat. They've been given their instructions from Graham Coughlin. And what would those instructions have been, Stuart Pearce?
Well, if I was the manager, probably you would certainly turn around and point to the tactical change that's got them back into the game. I think they've got to be more aggressive on the press a little bit. They've got to get tighter to United's wide men, and probably more importantly, make sure that every time Fernandes is on the ball, he's got his head down and not his head up, because he can supply a pass in behind the back line that's caused Newport a problem in the first half.
Well, very quickly, let's go behind the goal away to our left. Lawrence Moore has switched ends, so you'll be watching Newport equalise if they do.
Absolutely. I thought I'd come to the end where the real action will be this half-8. Listen, one of the things I absolutely love about this sort of cup tie is the terraced housing, which is just behind you in that main stand. There's scaffolding across 2 houses. Well, that is absolutely packed. It's outside the ground, across the road. The scaffolding is packed with players, with fans. They've even got the railway end signs on there. So they've got a bird's eye view of this pitch.
Indeed. So you stay right there behind the goal. towards which Altai Bandir is running towards right now as we prepare to get underway in the second half. Live and exclusive and only on Talksport. It's Newport 1, Manchester United 2. Can they complete the comeback, the League Two side? Here's Stuart Pearce and Jim Proudfoot.
And David Coote, the referee, gets us back underway. Manchester United in all white. And they're kicking from left to right, defending the North Terrace away to our left-hand side. What use of the North Terrace? I don't think there's anybody in those seats over on our left who is actually sitting down. Newport County, amber shirts, black shorts. No changes in personnel ahead of the second half. And I'll run through the two teams for you in a moment. With Manchester United looking to restore their 2-goal advantage right at the start of the second half. Ball flighted inside the penalty area. An overhead kick attempt is some way off target from Anthony. And it draws a rueful shake of the head from my esteemed colleague, Mr. Stuart Pearce.
Sorry, I just had a fly buzzing round me. It wasn't a rueful shake of the head. What he's done, he's made his mind up to overhead kick it way before he saw the bounce of the ball, and never changed his mind. And what you've got to do in football, you've got to constantly reassess your decision making in match time, and he never done that, and he got it all wrong.
Newport lining up Townsend in goal. They started with a back five. It's a back four now of McLaughlin, Clark, Delaney and Lewis. The two fullbacks to swap flanks on occasions. In midfield, Morris on the right, Charsley on the left. Bennett's pushed forward from centre halves alongside Wildig in the centre. And it's Palmer Holden up front alongside Evans. Manchester United team in a moment. They're on the front foot here with a shot that comes in. It's hit Clark. Goalkeeper comes out and Townsend can claim it. They've got Altai Binder in goal. Dallo, Varane, Martinez and Shaw. Menu and Casemiro. Anthony, Bruno Fernandes and Garnacho. And Hoyland up front. Here's Seb Palmer Holden. Ball worked out of the left-hand side for Lewis here for Newport. Low ball in from him towards the near post. It is in for 2-2. They have turned it around. And it's Will Evans from a farming family in mid-Wales that makes hay. A stunning start of the second half. 2 minutes into the second period. And Newport County, who were 2-0 down and to all intents and purposes down and out, are back on level terms with Manchester United. Great ball in from the left. And there was Evans coming across the near post, flicking it with his right foot past Altai for his 19th goal of the season. Will he ever score a more significant one? It's Newport 2, Manchester United 2, and all of a sudden, the shock is very much on.
Well, I've got to say, Townsend's got to take a massive dollop of credit on that. The goalkeeper for Newport took the ball out the air. He's delivered it really quickly. It was 2-on-2. He's delivered it out to the right wing. And when the ball got whipped in and the build-up, a great ball in from Lewis on the left-hand side, behind the back line that caused all kinds of trouble. We're all even and everything to play for.
Well, they blew a 2-0 lead against Copenhagen. Manchester United and lost that game 4-3. 2-0 up here against the side 16th in League Two, 76 places below them in the Football League pyramid. 2-0 up and coasting. 2 goals in a 6-minute spell for Manchester United, 2 and 11 for Newport, either side of half-time. It's game on. A side that have beaten Leeds and Leicester here, that came close to beating Tottenham, that knocked out Middlesbrough. Are they going to add the most famous FA Cup scalp of them all? This would eclipse the victory over Leicester, which is far and away the biggest win that they've ever had. In comes a Manchester United free kick. It's headed away, brought down though by Garnacho. Gets it through a crowd of players, well blocked by Lewis, who hammers it away. Well, they reckon that this wouldn't necessarily make them any money, this cup tie, but a replay would make them fortunes. And having got back from 2-0 down, can they at the very least hold on to what is now the status quo and book that money-spinning replay at Old Trafford in 10 days' time? Long ball over the top from Sandro Martinez from Manchester United. Such a long way to go, but 5 minutes into the second half, Rodney Parade is absolutely bouncing. Let's go to that goal where Will Evans found the breakthrough. Here's Lawrence Moura.
The smile on Will Evans' face as he celebrated with the Amber Army was something special. All came down the left as well, didn't it? And it was definitely Lewis who got the wrong side of Anthony, and he hadn't been tracked at all, but it was the movement of Will Evans which was absolutely terrific there.
Anthony plays it forward, deflected out of play. It's a goal kick. Stuart talked about what Graham Coughlin needs to do. Now the boot's on the other foot. What's going through Erik ten Hag's mind? How does he change things and restore the balance in Manchester United's favour?
Well, what's happened is they've not got started this half, and it's been Newport that have come out the blocks, the much more aggressive, and they've got the goal on the back of it. Certainly, it's fair to say, since that tactical change of Bennett going into midfield, and Graham Coughlin's got to take massive credit for that, the game's been reasonably even. So United potentially might have to do something themselves and change it a little tactical nuance to get the balance back in their favour potentially.
I mean, what they have tried to do when they're on the front foot is push Lisandro Martinez forward from centre half, so he's another body in the midfield, and that restores their numerical advantage in there. They haven't really had too many opportunities to be able to do that. We did see it fleetingly in the first half, but not in this second yet.
No, we haven't. And when you when you're looking at Højlund, for me, you know, United's had a real big ascendancy in this game. I've not seen him had a shot yet. I've not seen him really good in the build-up play. I've not seen him be aggressive with his running, and he's just got to unlock that if he's going to be a success in English football.
Well, we are in the heart of the Newport County fans here. Several youngsters in the row in front of us. Parents all but in tears when the equalising goal went in. Plenty of hair of children being ruffled, and so much excitement. This a day of days here in South Wales. And a free kick's being given United's way here for a foul by Lewis on Anthony. Anthony looking to take the free kick quickly and smack it into Lewis. It would have been from the wrong place, and it's just showing in doing that Manchester United are rattled.
It's all little things like that that just give this crowd and Newport, the players, a lift. It really is.
Bruno Fernandes has made a good run forward. Angle is tight. Really good covering challenge from Delaney. Puts it behind for the first corner of the second half, which Manchester United will take on their left. It's 2-2.
It's that man again, Fernandes, this time not Supplier.
As it's worked in short towards the near post and missed by Charsley, but cleared by Palmer holding in behind him. United working back forward again. As Newport shuffled out. Runners from deep trying to get goal side. Couldn't do so. Morris hoiks it high up in the air. And then it comes off Kobbie Mainoo. And ultimately goes out of play for what has been given as a Newport throw over on that far touchline.
Yeah, just seeing that. Listen, every time I try to open my mouth to talk about an incident that happens, another incident follows it up that quickly. You sort of can't get it out. But Fernandes there, a couple of times now, Fernandes broken in behind the Newport backline. As you rightly said, Delaney, wonderful covering challenge.
It's only Newport's fourth round tie since 1979. They've only ever won at this stage of the competition twice. Good play by Anthony as he kept it in there. He's pulled it back. Højlund on the turn, might be able to get a shot, and he can't. Sets up Bruno Fernandes. Townsend does well, springs to his left and saves the ball that was above his head.
I've got to say, Anthony's done brilliantly there. He's chased an almost a lost cause, kept it in play brilliantly. I think it had just gone out, but his body was covering the linesman's line of vision. It carried on. The goalkeeper ended up making a very, very good, smart save.
Townsend getting it forward again. Charsley trying to get it to break his way. Every Newport player now will be thinking that they have an opportunity to write their name in the club's history books, to write their name in FA Cup history, in a competition that has already this weekend seen one of the almightiest shocks of our lifetimes, with 6-tier Maidstone winning away to former FA Cup winners Ipswich Town, some 98 places above them in the football structure. Newport trying to overturn a 76-place deficit, and they've overturned a 2-0 deficit on the day. 2-2 the scoreline here on Talksport at Rodney Parade. Lisandro Martinez helps it forward. It's brought down over on the far touchline by Bruno Fernandes and comes off. And last goes out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Newport right-hand side. Am I reading too much into the body language of some of the Manchester United players, Stuart, or do you?
No, I don't think you are, Jim. To be fair, they've dominated the first half, gone in a goal up, but in their eyes, on a bit of a downer, it's fair to say. And this second half, Newport have come out with fire in their belly and they've gone after United.
Garnacho making an early run forward would have been offside. United couldn't attempt to try and play him in. Newport have won it back in the midfield with Morris involved. It goes back to the goalkeeper and Townsend will clear. Out towards the far touchline, the Newport right, brought down very neatly by McLaughlin. Now play forward to the midfield for Morris, and he can turn, and Lewis, the outlet on the left-hand side, is in here. Palmer Holden waiting in the middle. He'll try and find him. Really disappointed that a cross hits Dallow and goes out of play. He's on loan from Liverpool for a second season. Adam Lewis has been talking this week about the fact that his phone has been red hot with his mates from Liverpool. He's a Liverpool fan as a boy. Say,
what's their message been, Jim?
It has been basically good luck. Hope he goes your way. Has been the gist of it. With a little bit more venom, perhaps as well. Lewis has certainly played his part today. And he'll hurl it in towards the near post here. 2-2 on Talksport's headed on. Big appeals for handball. David Cooch says no. Back out towards Lewis. Good ball in towards the far post. Headed towards goal, but Altai can make the save. It was Delaney that got the effort in. Altai getting it forward quickly. And sensational control from McLaughlin on the run. Control it with the top of his right foot. Flicked it up with his left and gets Newport going again. And it's all county at the moment in this second half. Here's Scott Bennett. Bennett down towards the right-hand side. An opportunity to try and deliver a cross. Garnacho has prevented that from happening and then has bought a free kick over on that far side from Bryn Morris. And it's an opportunity for United just to settle themselves and run a few seconds off the clock and take this free kick in the left-back position. We played 12 in this second period. It's Newport County 2, Manchester United 2.
You can physically see the lift in energy from these Newport players now. They're winning challenges, they're winning headers, they're winning foot races. That wasn't happening so much in the first half. It's amazing what the confidence of a goal has done, well, 2 goals, let's say, has done that's given them a massive lift.
And Manchester United's confidence is like water going down a plug hole at the moment. They've just taken the free kick for that offside, worked from the left flank out to the right, straight out of play for a throw. It's as if they can see headlines being readied here, Manchester United. Altai throws the ball out towards the left-hand side. Luke Shaw's going to be able to take it on. But there was a collision. Shaw in nudging it past the Newport County player on that far touchline. I think it was McLaughlin has caught him, and it's a free kick.
I've got to say, I think the referee's got this one horribly wrong and been influenced by the crowd. Shaw's chased the ball that's been thrown to him. It was between him and McLaughlin. McLaughlin should have won the ball cleanly in my eyes. You know, in the end, he's almost run past the ball and he fell over, and the referee's bought a free kick here. It all adds to the mix, really, doesn't it? Because if this was in the first half, the same challenge, Jim, the fans probably wouldn't have been as vocal. At the moment, they're rocking.
Certainly playing their part. It's hard to think less than 10,000 in. The noise is cacophonous. It's a free kick to Newport then on the right-hand touchline, a soft one. 6 in amber, waiting around the edge of the penalty area. Clark making his way forward now, a 7th. Ball inside the box, and Charsley gets his right foot to it and got it horribly wrong, volleys it way away and out of play for a goal kick. Does Ten Hag make changes in personnel now?
Well, they've got to stop the flow of Newport at the moment, and Newport are just quicker into challenges. quicker with the energy that they've got in the team, all of those type of things. Like we've just seen there, fantastic, absolutely fantastic by Bennett, flying in from the back on Mainu. And it's just that energy. United, firstly, before they make changes, have got to match that energy that Newport are showing now.
United in possession on the edge of their own penalty area. They've hardly seen the ball in Newport territory in the last 10 minutes or so. Just joining us on Talksport, station that brought you one astonishing FA Cup victory yesterday, an astonishing test victory for England this morning. And are we going to get yet another absorbing story this afternoon here in South Wales? 2-2 after Manchester United led 2-0. Ball played inside the penalty area by Garnacho. Has he won a corner? Yes, he has. We've played an hour, and it's a corner which Luke Shaw will go across to take over on the far touchline. The United left is the fourth round tie of Graham Coughlin's footballing career as a player or a manager. He'll have a taste for it. Ball in towards the near post. Højlund trying to get in there. Lisandro Martinez in there as well. I think his was the last touch. And it's just drifted wide of the near post and goes out of play for a goal kick, which Nick Townsend will take. You look at this Manchester United side. No Rashford today, as has been talked about. Remember, it is, quote, according to Erik ten Hag, an internal matter. And the fact that he's not here, although illness has been talked about in the same breath as his absence because of the stories that he was out in a nightclub on Thursday. But if you put Rashford in this side, probably in place of Anthony, that's just about the strongest Manchester United side that he could pick. Goalkeeper as well, I guess, with an Aaron instead of place of Altay today. But it's not as if Manchester United have rung the changes and put a mix and match side out.
No, this is a strong side out there. I think what they're doing, they're lacking the option without Rashford of putting, if Rashford started on the bench potentially, I think more so as the point man, as a centre forward. I don't think he's in his best position, but I'm finding Højlund's performance a little bit inept at present.
Well, he's got his head to this and just flicked it on to nowhere in particular. The United bench, incidentally, Maguire, Eriksson, Ahmad, Pellistri, Evans, McTominay, Cambuala and Forson, and Tom Heaton. Lisandro Martinez heads the ball away. Helped back infield over on that right-hand touchline by Evans. Bennett with the bandage around his right arm, playing it back for Delaney. Oh, Delaney's given it away, seized upon by Anthony, but his touch was heavy and Delaney wins it back. Finds Lewis. Lewis to Bennett. Bruno Fernandes putting the challenge on him. Bennett can bring it away. Gets around Casemiro, but can't take the ball with him. Manchester United win it back with Fernandes. Here's Højlund. Anthony to his right. Just holding his run to stay onside. Anthony trying to check back inside, ran straight into Delaney, rolls around as if somebody has tried to kneecap him. Then United upfield, get it away. Dalot back to the goalkeeper, and I'm pleased to say Anthony's okay. That, unfortunately, that was just embarrassing histrionics from him.
This sarcasm has caught from me to you now, so it seems.
Garnacho, left-hand side of the box, flashes it across, and it evades Anthony and goes out of play.
See, it's all these little things that Anthony gesturing to the linesman now. Why didn't you see it? Why didn't you give it? It just brings the crowd to the party and fuels the fire, and he's still doing it now. He's pointing at his sock for some reason.
Well, there will be a hiatus here because the player's in need of treatment. It's not Anthony, it's the Newport goalkeeper, Nick Townsend. And he's down the way to our right-hand side. So the Newport players come over towards this near touchline. They'll be spoken to by Graham Coughlin, his assistant manager, Joey Dunn as well. Just giving a few instructions, and it's whipping the crowd up. There are youngsters on the shoulders of parents. This simply is a day and occasion that they won't forget. Whatever happens from here, having been 2-0 down and got it back to 2-2, this is something they will always remember. How's it looking from your unique vantage point behind that goal Newport are attacking, Lawrence Morrow?
It's looking fantastic. There are silver FA Cups being held up by the crowd here. But listen, Manchester United have sent down 3 substitutes to warm up. Maguire's down here. Ericsson is going through a more rigorous warm-up, and McTominay as well. So whether there are changes afoot, I think that Erik ten Hag is definitely keeping an eye on these 3 and whether to bring them on.
I've got a feeling if they are going to ring the changes, it will probably be Ericsson and McTominay that probably might hopefully be able to make a difference for United, because at the moment, this game's, it's for anybody's to win.
Well, Nick Townsend's back on his feet, and the Exiles substitute goalkeeper Jonathan Maxted was warming up. Maxted, who signed from Northampton, player who made his name in non-league with Forest Green back in their non-league days, and also with Guiseley. Has played in the 4th round before, back in the day. He's been warming up. Townsend's going to be all right. He's going to be able to continue. And we're back underway after a couple of minutes of treatment for Townsend. And Newport restarting with a throw. It's helped on by Charsley, nodded back. And then hooked clear high up in the air by Bennett. Returned by Rafa Varane. Headed away by Lewis, who's been impressive. It's flicked on very intricately by Morris. Wildig is in there. The former Cardiff man's lost it though. Bruno Fernandes running towards the edge of the penalty area. And he checks and plays it in left-footed, and Bennett has done really well. Great defensive awareness and came back from midfield and knocked it away. Wildig's clearance, it's the nearest United player. Ricochets forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Charsley with a high up and under tries to get it away. Varane's defensive header was really poor, and now Morris will bring it forward here for Newport. It's 2-2 on Talksport. Manchester United have blown a 2-0 lead. It could get worse for them yet. Charsley from distance, a distance wide.
Yeah, exciting times here, it really is. Newport believe now. I don't think they believed from the first minute. Certainly when they went 2-0 down, they didn't. Their confidence was shaken, Jim. But at this moment in time, if you're going to point at any team, it's got to be a bit of excellence from United out of the blue, or Newport might be the team that look as though they're going to get the winner.
Well, they have been the better team in the second half. Manchester United certainly deserved their half-time advantage. Guilty of profligacy, but it was just a long-range, spectacular, deflected effort that had got Newport back in the game. Second half, it's been the other way around completely. United with a better ball forward here. It's actually still split the gap between Anthony and Dallow, who'd made their way forward. Townsend raced out and got there. Mainu then actually got caught by Charsley. The ball has gone out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the Manchester United right. Mainu's not sure whether he was fouled. He thinks he was fouled, but he's not sure whether the referee thinks he was fouled. Just asking for clarification. Play restarts with a throw. Alessandro Martinez has it. There's a fair bit of big game involvement amongst these Newport players, and it's showing that bit of nous. Anthony's ball inside the penalty area here. Bruno Fernandes will let it run. It's taken on by Luke Shaw. Shaw checking onto his right foot. Shot deflected onto the post. Saved and pushed out only as far as Anthony. And he volleys it in for 3-2. And Manchester United are back ahead. Luke Shaw with a great piece of play. Decent save from Townsend. The post came to Newport's initial rescue, but Anthony was there, unmarked, kept his nerve, volleys it in. It's Newport 2, Manchester United 3.
Yeah, this game's taken another swing, probably against the momentum of the game, it's fair to say. But certainly Shaw's done extremely well there. Cut inside when you thought he was going to come onto it, hit it with his left foot, hit the post, and Anthony's done well to sort the feet out and just guide it back into an empty net.
His first goal in 32 games in all competitions, a run that stretches back to a goal against Nottingham Forest last April. And it's a goal that, as things stand, spare Manchester United's blushes. They're back ahead now by the odd goal in 5. So will Newport be able to show the resilience that they've shown earlier today and get themselves back into it again? Newport 2, Manchester United 3. And the Exiles on the front foot from the kickoff have a throw down near the Manchester United corner flag. Let's go back pitch side. Here's Talksport's Lawrence Mora.
And that just took the wind out of the sails of the fans behind me. Oh, there was a big groan as Anthony turned the ball home. They've got to start believing again, though, and they've got to pick their players up.
Thank you, Lawrence. So Lewis will go across towards the right flank and launches another long throw inside the penalty area. It was a poor attempt to try to clear it. It's sliced through the penalty area, but eventually comes out the box, and Scott Bennett's there and clears, but puts it out for a throw that will be taken by Manchester United. And Newport will be the first to make a change, and it's a straight swap at fullback. Big ovation here for Adam Lewis as he comes off, and he's going to be replaced by 19-year-old Lewis Payne, a right back who's on loan from Southampton. He's made one senior appearance for the Saints, but has really done wonders for his reputation here this season. And the teenager comes on. First change for Newport, Payne for Lewis. And he's come on at right back. Here's Lisandro Martinez, back to his goalkeeper. We've got 20 minutes to go. After us, Ian Holloway and Majestic will bring you all of the post-match reaction from here at Rodney Parade. You can get your reaction too. 03717223344 is your hotline to the nation on Talksport, with Ollie and Majestic taking your calls here on Talksport. Ball is played by Altai out towards the far touchline, and Manchester United will work it through the midfield. Dallo, Casemiro, Kobe Mainu making a good run forward on the right-hand side of the area. Finds Anthony, who at the moment is the match winner. Chance for him to try and take on McLaughlin. Bruno Fernandes gets the better of the challenge on the edge of the penalty area. First shot is blocked. It's set up towards Garnacho. Garnacho couldn't adjust his feet quickly enough. Tries to lay back for Casemiro. It's a poor challenge by him. And it's a yellow card. Casemiro on Charsley.
Yeah, Charsley's just got there, read the danger on the edge of the box, and got there before Casemiro. And I think credit to Casemiro, he got there when he could. Sadly, that was too late.
And Casemiro with the challenge. It's his third yellow card of the season, to go along with the red that he received against Galatasaray. Incidentally, Lewis Payne, the substitute that's just come on, is the only player who could miss any potential replay or a potential fifth-round tie because of suspension. He has been booked in each of his last 3 FA Cup ties. Palmer Holden from an implausible angle on the right-hand side of the box with a shot that just dribbles away towards the corner flag. The Manchester United players, if they get booked twice in this FA Cup run, they will be suspended. For Newport, because they came in at the first round stage, any Newport player can accumulate 3 yellow cards without sanction, but a 4th in the competition will see them suspended, and that's the situation that young Payne is in. It's 3-2 to Manchester United. We've got 18 minutes to go here on Talksport. And Garnacho has rolled his man Payne over on the far touchline. He's trying to make his way forward. The ball inside the penalty area with Højlund. Can't get himself into a shooting position, but he can tee up Fernandes. Great block coming in on him from Delaney. And the loose ball squirts away out towards the far touchline for a Manchester United throw.
Yeah, the game's starting to get stretched now, and Newport have made some wonderful blocks and interceptions so far. Just looking at United, and from a positive aspect from their point of view, Mainu, 18 years old, rising 19, and I think credit to him. I think he's had a solid game once again. Seems to be a regular pick in this United midfield, and he'll certainly be one benefiting by game.
Yeah, he started the last 7 games in a row now in all competitions. And very much seen by the United fans as first choice when everybody is fit. And has enhanced his reputation again today in a difficult situation. He's certainly not been one to hide. But Manchester United, who were 2 up after 13 minutes, pegged back to 2-2 early in the second half, now leading by 3-2. They've had that advantage for the last 6 minutes. They've got another 16 plus stoppage time to withstand. The ball has gone out of play for a throw, which will be taken over on the far touchline by Newport. A reminder, one more live FA Cup tie for you tomorrow as Wrexham travel to Blackburn, hoping to book a game in Newcastle in round 5. And that's a 7:30 kickoff also tomorrow night here on Talksport. That Wrexham game on Talksport too, but here on Talksport, Danny Kelly will be joined by Danny Murphy and the former Liverpool CEO Peter Moores to discuss Jurgen Klopp's summer departure from Liverpool and what happens next for Club and Klopp. It's our Wiedersehen Klopp from 7 tomorrow night here on Talksport. Free kick taken inside the penalty area. It's helped on by Palmer Holden, but It just bounces innocuously inside the 6-yard box, and Altai can come and pick it up and bowl it out. And Manchester United will bring it forward quickly through the midfield. Anthony, left-hand side of the box after Bruno Fernandes's marauding run. It's over by the left-hand touchline. He's got Garnacho in support. Garnacho will take it on now. By the bottom left-hand corner of the penalty area. Turns back the other way to find Anthony. Back in towards Garnacho. Shot deflected. Newport making a bit of a meal of clearing it and have lost possession again. When it eventually is worked inside the penalty area, it hits McLaughlin, goes out of play for a corner, which is United's third of this second half. 2-2, 15 minutes, 3-2, I beg your pardon, to United, with 15 minutes to go.
Well, this half's flown by, and I've got to say, Man United have just wrestled some of the momentum away from Newport at the moment and just managed to rock them slightly and put them on the back foot. But these fans still believe, Jim.
Everybody back again for Newport. Right-footed in, swinging corner, and plucked out of thin air by Townsend, who looks fine after that treatment that he received for an injury about 10-12 minutes or so ago. Townsend catching it, just waiting for everybody to push forward upfield. There's a few more Newport reinforcements are imminent, I think. Some of the players that have been warming up have just been summoned back to the bench beneath us. Anthony's got possession. As he fouled, he was by Bennett. Free kick taken intelligently by Mainu really quickly, and out towards the left-hand side again. Garnacho, Luke Shaw on the overlap. Hoyland trying to get in. The ball's behind him. And then McLaughlin can get it away from inside his 6-yard box to find Morris. Morris on the edge of his own penalty area. Hits a long 40-yarder forward. It's brought down by Evans. Evans back inside his own half's just given it away. Straight back to Garnacho. A few tiring now in the Newport ranks, entirely understandably. Dallo for Mainu. Mainu inside the centre circle with very clever, quick feet. Drags the ball away from Palmer Hold, and that was nice. Back for Varane. Varane inside the centre circle for United. Leading 3-2 with 13 to go. Dallo on halfway. Mainu finding pockets of space with regularity now. And this time finding Garnacho. He's seeing plenty of it again. Garnacho on his right foot, and Townsend gratefully pounces on the ball as he dives to his left.
Yeah, Newport players look as though they're looking for a breather at the moment, and it's probably the last time that they need a breather. They need to up the tempo of what they were doing prior to this third goal going in, and that was rocking United slightly. And they need to just grab some of this momentum back in the game.
13 to go. Newport needing an equaliser. And they're going to be bringing on Kibben Rai and James Waite. So a double change, a triple change, in fact. And they're also going to be bringing on Baker. So the first player coming off is Charsley. Harry Charsley, who once played in Europe for Everton. He comes off. Aaron Wilby coming off from the midfield as well. Number 24, and Kibben Rai, the son of a Gurkha soldier who was stationed not a million miles from here in Brecon at one stage, and made this part of the world his own, and he comes on. And Scott Bennett gets a massive ovation. 350th Newport game, one of the most memorable. He leaves the field, and he will be replaced by centre-half Matt Baker, who's on loan from Stoke for a second season. So a triple change. Waite, Rai and Baker coming on for Charsley, Wildig and Bennett. Those changes being made with 12 minutes to go. Shaw lashes it up the left-hand touchline. It's gone out of play for a throw which will be taken over on the far touchline. You're with Talksport and Sirius XM-FC across the United States and Canada. 3-2 to Manchester United. As things stand, they're getting away with it. It's one of those performances that they would sooner rather forget, by and large, from what happened from about 35 minutes onwards. But they do lead. It's all about progression, and they're just over 10 minutes away from a tie, either Bristol City or Nottingham Forest in round 5. Throw taken towards James Waite for Newport, who certainly still believe. Waite inside the penalty area. Evans flicking it on just behind Palmer Holden, though, and he goes out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, a little nudge there, I think, on Manu, and he just went to ground. Referee saw a push and just pulled him up on it. As I say, impact's needed from these substitutes. They need to get their team on the front foot in these last 10 minutes or so.
So Rai, who's coming on, is playing almost on the left-hand side of the front three. Evans just dropping very slightly deeper, almost into the number 10 role. They're playing with him between split strikers. Palmer Holden out on the right-hand side. James Waite, the central midfielder, coming on to replace Wilding, a player that came through the Cardiff Academy. So he's on in central midfield. And Baker is playing in central midfield as well. And Manchester United have played through that area. A chance for them to score a fourth here with Anthony. If he can just get the ball out from underneath his left foot. He finds Manu, Shaw, Garnacho trying to work it back across. And it's smacked away to relative safety by Payne for a throw that will be taken on the Manchester United left. Another United goal now surely sets the seal on it for Erik ten Hag's man. And he's going to make a change, and Casemiro's coming off, and Scott McTominay is going to come on to replace him, Stuart. McTominay and also Willy Camboire, the centre-half, is going to be coming on as well. Camboire, who made an impressive debut against West Ham in the Premier League. He made his FA Cup debut for the last 10 minutes at Wigan, and he'll come on. So McTominay for Casemiro and Camboire for Shaw.
Yeah, as I say, Shaw coming off, just easing his way back in, I'm sure. And United, really, it's a possession game for them now. Can they keep possession, keep the ball away from a resurgent Newport, and starve them of possession, really?
United restart play with a throw. 8.5 plus stoppage time to go. And Manchester United leading it 3-2. Varane back to his goalkeeper, Altay. Not too many opportunities to impress on his United debut. In for Anana today. Ball just over the line. They've gone out of play for a throw. Yes, it had. And it's a Newport ball. 20 yards inside the Manchester United half. And McLaughlin will come across and retrieve it. In fact, a free kick has been given their way. So McLaughlin spots it down. A chance for the centre-halves to go forward again. Palmer Holden also lurking with intent. He's on the edge of the D. Manchester United keeping a high line again, about 7 outside the box. But first of all, medical staff are racing across the field. I don't know whether there's a medical emergency on the far side. We can't see the fans in the stand on that far touchline. I think that must be what is happening, as Newport medical staff raced over, and they're making their way up the steps now as I speak over on that far side. And obviously our best wishes with whoever is afflicted over on that far touchline. Brief hiatus here will allow Graham Coughlin and Joey Dunn the opportunity to get some more instructions, some words into their players for one final push as they look for another equaliser.
Yeah, it certainly will. As I say, it's good to see the medical staff there off the bench and shot straight across, directly across the centre line here, and basically straight up in the stand. Let's hope that it isn't something too serious up there.
OK, so what are they telling the Newport players?
Well, it's energy. It's when they were good at the start of the second half, they were winning 50-50s, winning the foot race like we mentioned, all of those challenges, that they've just dropped off of that a little bit. They've just started to lose challenges and not pressing, and you've almost got to say, listen, we've got nothing to lose. We just as well go down, if we lose another goal by pressing on and going hard on a man-to-man press, so be it. But as they stand at the moment, that's what they've got to do, that high energy, balls in the box, win first, win seconds, and hopefully something can fall your way.
The Newport players all came over. The Manchester United players didn't, and Erik ten Hag just stood and was in discussion with David Coote, the referee, also fourth official Andrew Kitchen, just about what is going on and how long I think that they can expect the delay to be. To read anything into that the United players didn't come over, didn't feel the need for instruction, or that Erik ten Hag didn't feel the need to call them over?
Well, at this stage, all you need to do is tell your team, keep possession of the ball. Kill the game, keep possession. End of. So I don't read anything into that, no. They should know their jobs at this stage.
Well, don't forget Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoy's back tomorrow morning from 6. The perfect start of the working week. I'll be looking back on everything that's happened on an extraordinary weekend of live sport in football and cricket as well. So many guests to reflect on England's heroics. David Lloyd, Steve Harmison, amongst others. Also looking back on Maidstone's extraordinary victory at Ipswich. That's all with Jeff and Ali McCoy at 6 tomorrow on Talksport. If you fancy something different on your morning commute, the Chris Evans Breakfast Show is my recommendation for you. Weekdays from 6:30 on Virgin Radio. You can access that via DAB or the Virgin Radio app. Reminder that after us, Ian Holloway and Majestic will bring you all of the post-match reaction from Rodney Parade. And you can get your reaction too on 03717 22 3344. Well, you're not missing anything here because the medical emergency seemingly still being attended to over in the stand on the far side of the pitch here. It's a fantastic venue, Stu. I'm fortunate enough to have been here a few times, been here as a fan, been here working a few times in the past. It's your first time here. It's idiosyncratic, isn't it? You look around, there's sort of this main stand, the stand on the far side, much newer, and then the temporary stands behind each goal. It's a real collection, real hodgepodge, but it's made for a wonderful atmosphere.
It is. I've got to say the fans have made the atmosphere. We come in here four hours before kick-off when there's no one in here, and you look round the stands and whatever. It's a unique environment, no doubt about that, but the fans have made it, as they always do in every football match, and made it a really exciting afternoon's work, and we've been treated to 5 goals as well, but it's certainly a tough place for any team to come and play against Newport.
McLaughlin taking the free kick. Swung in towards the far post as play gets back underway after about a 3.5 minute break. And the ball has gone back out of play for a throw which will be taken by United. There were just a few instructions. Actually, Eric Ten Hag came onto the pitch, was having a word with Kobbie Mainoo, which I'm not sure is entirely allowed, and the Newport fans were making sure the officials realised where he was. It's a game that's been played in a very good spirit. 3 minutes to go, but a fair bit of added time now. And it's gone out for a throw which will be taken by Willy Camboire, the young Frenchman right in front of us. 3-2 to Manchester United. And Amari Forson is going to be getting a few minutes in a moment. He'll be coming on, and Harry Maguire might as well. Martinez, he's under-hit that. Coming across the cover was Evans, but he thought he'd won a throw. He hasn't. He steamed in to get the loose ball and thought he'd been able to flick it off the United player for a Newport throw, but it didn't get the deflection that he was craving. And it is a Manchester United throw in their right-back position. Yeah, little interactions like that by Evans. His energy, his drive, his will to want to win the ball just gives everyone a lift. Morris helping it forward. That time it is a Newport throw. Manchester United are going to make a double change. And the first man being brought on, Amari Forson, who will replace Anthony. Anthony will leave the field as the match winner. Forson made his debut for the closing seconds at Wigan. Player signed from Spurs as a 15-year-old back in 2019. He can play as a 10, he can play as a winger. He's an under-20 international. He's on. And Maguire for Martinez is the other change that is imminent. Martinez making his way off. And any England international, present company accepted, always guaranteed a slightly frosty reception here in South Wales. I'm just hoping to get back to my car okay, Jim. Then again, I've got you with me, me Rottweiler, who'll look after me. Be all right. A long throw inside the penalty area. McLaughlin helping it on. Evans trying to guard it further on. Camboire. It's Morris trying his luck again from distance. Loose ball breaks out of the right. Payne couldn't get himself into a shooting position. Then it's headed down by Clark. The veteran centre-half has done well. He's over on the right-hand touchline. We've got 90 seconds of the 90 minutes to go. Ball inside the penalty area. Hit Palmer Holden rather than anything else. He couldn't divert it as he wanted to. Manchester United will try and bring it away. Really well won back in the midfield by Baker. But the referee had spotted an infringement earlier in the piece. And it's a free kick that Manchester United are going to take 15 yards inside their own half. They're nearly there. There's going to be a lot of stoppage time to be added on. I can't even hazard a guess, I must admit. 7 maybe. We'll find out very shortly, but United getting ever closer. Cambuala getting it through the midfield. McTominay is in there battling. Forson's touch was the last one. And it's a Newport throw. Throw which will be taken by McLaughlin on this near touchline. Do they deserve an equaliser over 90 minutes?
Over 90 minutes, United have been the better team for long periods, but you've got to admire their dogged determination, being 2-0 down and getting themselves back in the game by hook and by crook. Sometimes you have to do that. And the start of the second half, certainly after the goal and beyond, they looked arguably the better side.
Now Baker setting up Evans, and it's wide. Tried his luck from 30 yards, more than happy to buy a ticket. Outside dived inside it, he knew he had it covered, but it didn't miss the far post by much. And we go into 9 added minutes.
Well, that is a ball that United didn't want to see, and Newport did. 9 minutes. And we've just seen a strike there by Evans. He's hit it with his left foot. We're near enough full on behind it, and we're just expecting, if he cuts across it, it bends into that far corner. He hit it straight as an arrow, just past the post.
He's another lifelong Manchester United fan, Will Evans. Very close to scoring his second of the day, his 20th of the season. Altay. Long right-footed ball forward from him. And it goes out for a throw, which will be taken over on the far touchline, the Newport right-hand side. Newport County 2, Manchester United 3. United against fourth-tier opposition over the last 40 years have won 6 and drawn 1. And it looks as though they're going to edge this encounter and make it through to a fifth-round tie away to Bristol City or Nottingham Forest. They've got the ball inside their own half, but they've lost it again. Baker to Payne, trying to drive forward. Little kind ricochet goes Newport's way. McTominay's back putting a challenge in. And Bruno Fernandes is going to be able to win it back. A real rough and tumble going on the far side. Real scramble. And Newport emerge with possession with James Waite. Pulled back to Morris. Well worth an attempt. It's smacked off someone on the edge of the penalty area, and Newport have a corner.
It was like, I hope I've got my facts right here, but I'm sure one of you will correct me. Have you seen the Eton Wall game where the trick is to get the ball along? That was exactly what we've just seen over that far side. A scrummage of players working the ball along that right-hand side. In the end, once again, Morris, a wonderful effort, cannoned off for a corner.
Will a corner be their best opportunity of an equaliser? Right-footed, hung really high. Delaney coming around the back. It was a defensive header, actually. Possibly from Maguire that went back to Altay, but he was able to catch it. Well defended. And the Sting taken out of the situation again. 3-2 Manchester United lead.
I'll tell you what surprises me in modern-day football, Jim, is when, you know, you bring a centre-half off, Martinez, who's got in the groove in the game, playing quite well, and you bring a new centre-half on. It just seems a strange move for me. So late in the game.
2.5 minutes into the 9 added. And the ball has gone out of play for a Manchester United throw. You're listening to Newport County against Manchester United in the FA Cup, live on Talksport with Carling, the official beer partner of the Emirates FA Cup. 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. And the Exiles fans doing their bit to try and cheer their side to a very late equaliser here. Is there one more moment of drama on an extraordinarily dramatic sporting weekend? 3-2 Man United lead. Hoyland playing it forward. Good run here from Forson. He's going to be able to get in. Left-footed shot is blocked. Well saved by Townsend. But put in and a melee on the follow-up. And that is that. Manchester United have got the job done. Rasmus Hoyland from close range. They're going to win it. But they know they've been in a huge battle here in South Wales. But there won't be a shock. Newport will leave the cup heads held high, and Manchester United will be in round 5.
Well, tough on Newport. United worked it really well there. Garnacho was the first ball through when the first shot was stopped. Mainu, fantastic run through the centre of the pitch. Goalkeeper done extremely well. And then it was Hoyland who followed up. and just got his reward for an average afternoon's work.
Rasmus Højlund with the goal. He's scored in his last 2 Premier League games. And that's his 8th goal in all competitions this season, to go with the 5 that he's got in Europe and the 2 he's got in the Premier League. His first ever in the FA Cup. It's Newport 2, Manchester United 4. But still, Newport try and pile the pressure on. Rye down by the corner flag. He lost out. McTominay can get it away. Højlund, the scorer of the 4th. Getting it forward for United, but it'll come straight back again. Morris down towards Rye, left-hand side of the penalty area. Right-footed shot from him, takes a deflection. Bruno Fernandes on the end of it, lets it run for Garnacho. They might be able to break quite quickly. Fernandes making a run through the middle. The ball is played out towards the left-hand side instead for Højlund. Højlund trying to deliver. Second attempt for him to do that. Bruno Fernandes setting up Forsen. Now McTominay, edge of the penalty area. McTominay's still got it, can't walk through, and Clark's there to clear. Newport are going to be bringing another lifelong United fan, Nathan Wood, on very shortly. Cambuala with a real high up and under. That'll just drop on the edge of the Newport penalty area into the hands of Townsend. But there's only 3.5 minutes to go. 4-2 Man United.
Yeah, game just coming to an end. I don't know what's happened to McTominay. He's limping around in the centre circle. I think he's jarred his knee of some description.
Long clearance from Townsend, headed away by Cambuala. Right-footed over the top from Clark. Right, trying to let the ball drop on the edge of the penalty area. Waite will take over. Waite taking on the retreating Forsen. Can he get in position to deliver across? The answer is no, but McLaughlin can. That one's headed away by Kobbie Mainoo. Bounce that sailed over the head of Garnacho, who mistimed his jump. Back out to the right for Payne, in towards Palmer. Holden went up for it but couldn't get a header towards goal, and Forsen clears, and it goes out of play for a Newport throw. They will make the change, and it's going to be Palmer Holden who will come off, and Nathan Wood will come on to replace him. What have you made of Palmer Holden? Because they love him here. 19-year-old, mentioned earlier, on loan from Bristol City.
Yeah, he's done reasonable. He's certainly been very game. He's chased a lot of lost causes. He's put pressure on the United backline. And as I say, he's one for the future, certainly.
Well, Nathan Wood from Newport was a ball boy here when they were a 6th-tier team. He was on the terraces for another famous Newport County Cup tie against Tottenham, where they came within 8 minutes of winning. And he is on. United have made a change as well. Johnny Evans, who played in the Leicester side, beaten here 5 years ago, comes on for Manchester United late on. Here's McTominay. Play forward down the right. So Varane, incidentally, that went off for Evans to come on. Headed forward by Mainoo. McTominay bringing the ball down. Wood making life difficult for him. Newport needing to score twice in 2.5 minutes here. Ball worked back towards the left-hand side of the area. It was rash from McTominay. He knew it as soon as he made the challenge. He's conceded a free kick. Foul on Evans, level with the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, good opportunity with one in here. I don't think McTominay saw the player coming in behind him, Evans. He was that quick. So he's committed to have a swing at the ball and just took Evans. It's a great opportunity to whip a ball in here, get players across the line of the goalkeeper.
McLaughlin and Morris, the two that stand over it. Newport with everybody forward apart from Payne and the goalkeeper. But even if this goes in, they would still only have about a minute of playing time to find an equaliser. Morris working across the edge of the box. Waits! Oh, close, tipped over the bar. Didn't quite get it in towards the top right-hand corner, but it still forced a reasonable save from Altai to tip it over the bar for a corner.
Really well worked free kick there. I thought, why don't you whip it in? They worked it short, across the face of the goal, and Waite opened his body up and hit it. I thought he'd hit it too high, but it dipped viciously, and good goalkeeping by Altai to tip it over.
So a corner, potentially the last of the game, will be taken on the Newport County right-hand side. We're in the 9th minute of stoppage time. Newport 2, Man United 4. Raises his right arm above his head and now delivers in towards the edge of the area for Morris. Morris hooking it on, but not with conviction. He couldn't find Wood, and that's the end of an enthralling FA Cup tie. And Newport leave the field to a standing ovation. They gave everything they had, and just for a time it looked as though they might be able to make history. They certainly frightened United, who'd raced into an early 2-0 lead, but when it came back to 2-2, I think Ten Hag's men could see potentially the writing of headlines pretty big on the wall. As it turned out, goals from Anthony and Hoyland in the final quarter of the game saw Manchester United through. They progressed through to round 5. They weren't at their best by any stretch of the imagination. It's a day that the Newport fans and players will remember with greater fondness, but it is Manchester United who make it through, and they will go to either Bristol City or Nottingham Forest in the last 16. Great cup tie. Newport County 2, Manchester United 4.
Wow, really enjoyed that, and I think the Newport fans who are applauding and singing, I think they thoroughly enjoyed it as well. What you want is to win the tie, but if you're going to lose the tie, you've got to give it a good go. If you're the lower league opposition, it's exactly what Newport County did. They could have crumbled, they could have folded, but they didn't. They regrouped, came out for the second half, got on level terms, and boy, Stuart Pearce, did they make a game of it. And they, arguably, you could say their endeavour, their spirit that you talked about, the togetherness they had, that was better than what Man United had as a team. But in the end, it wasn't quite enough to get a replay.
No, it wasn't, but certainly they'll come away from this game with great credit. Going 2-0 down to a Premier League team and a team of Manchester United's class. You've got to turn around, take some spirit to do so. They scored a wonderful goal in the first half to make it 2-1 at half-time. That gave them the belief at half-time. They come out, equalised, and then they looked as though they were the team on the front foot, quicker to challenges, and it was United's goal against really the run of play a little bit as well that made it 3-2, and from that moment on you always felt as though United might hit them on the break, but certainly Newport come out of this game with massive credit.
Yeah, the Man United players have trudged off. They've acknowledged their fans as they pass them away to our right, but the Newport players are still out there, and not many of these Newport fans have left. They want to make sure that they appreciate the effort that the Newport players have put into this game, and it's a lovely sight to see. Your team's just been beaten 4-2, but there's a bigger story behind that, and they gave everything for these fans, and these fans gave everything to them as well.
Yeah, they certainly did. I thought the fans were absolutely excellent today, Aid, I really did. They got behind their team when their team needed a lift, and when the team got that lift and had the ascendancy, it was so vocal around this place, and they really believed, and this will do this football club the world of credit.
You know what? There's one thing that puzzles me. As a fan of a lower league club, sometimes you watch your teams put in maximum effort when the big boys come to town. How on earth are Newport 16th in League 2? I don't get it.
No, you're right. As I say, if they put that energy and that drive in, the tactical nous from the manager making the change when he did, pushing Bennett into midfield was a master stroke and got his team back into the game. Well, certainly they're going to have to use this game and this performance and this spirit to give them a lift during the league.
And just for a bit of perspective, the last time that a fourth division side scored 2 FA Cup goals against Manchester United was the day that George Best scored 6 as as United beat Northampton 8-2 back in 1970. So it's the first time in 54 years that a fourth division side has scored 2 against Manchester United in an FA Cup tie. I don't think this one will necessarily be remembered by the wider footballing family quite as much as that one did with Best's heroics. It's a better United performance then than this one was today, but it just shows the job that Newport have done.
You could say typical United then, letting in 2 goals against fourth-tier opposition. Let's talk about Kobbie Mainoo. You mentioned him in second half commentary. He's young, he's confident, intelligent on the ball as well. He seems to be unflustered by anything, and there were some hairy challenges going in the middle of the park. He coped with it all.
Well, United have been under scrutiny, certainly this season, by some of their performances, some of their results, some for good, some for bad. But this kid seems to have just come through recently and looks very steady in the centre of midfield. And I think he should have a bright future in front of him. He's keeping some top internationals out the team at the moment, by rights, by his performances, and they obviously trust him at United. So, you know, sometimes it's not all doom and gloom, and certainly he will be one that, if he stays in the team between now and the end of the season, will contribute massively for United, who could be on quite a decent cup run at the moment. I don't think they'd fear the next round, Bristol City or Nottingham Forest. It's up for grabs, that one, once again, and then all of a sudden quarter-final time.
Let's head down towards the tunnel area. Lawrence Mora is down there for Talksport. Lawrence.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hey, listen, with Will Evans, well, hard luck today. Listen, he gave it absolutely everything, and at 2-2, I think we thought you had them on the ropes.
Oh, yeah. Manager said to us, just start the second half a bit better than the first half, and, well, what better way to start with a goal, you know. Just wanted to stay in the game. Wasn't our day today, but you know what? I'm proud of every single one of them. Everyone just give their heart and soul, and yeah, what a fixture to be a part of.
2-0 down. I mean, it was so quick as well. What was the thoughts going through the players' minds? Did anybody grab hold of you and to sort of take charge at that point?
No, it's not. It wasn't one of them really. It's just that's the distance and opposition. But you know, we got stung by it, and it was 6 minutes on the clock. We were 1-0 down. I thought, wow, here we go. We're in for a game. Not that we weren't already, but you really did see it with the quality they possess going forward, and just relentless. But listen, like I said, to get back to 2-2 is a real achievement for us.
Oh, it certainly was. What was the message coming out in the second half? Because you guys came out early as well. United were a little bit behind you.
Yeah, Gaffer just said to enjoy it. You're part of one of the biggest games you're ever going to be involved in, and I've been dreaming of trying to get on the score sheet, and thankfully that paid dividends 2 minutes into the second half.
What a season for you personally. You know, you've come from the Cymru Premier, you've been scoring goals for fun there, and now at Newport County doing it again, and doing it at the highest level against Manchester United.
Yeah, a bit surreal, I can't lie. Yeah, a magic moment. I've got all my family up in the stands there as well, so really happy for them.
Well, listen, congratulations on today. Hard luck on the result, but thanks very much for joining us.
Cheers. Thank you.
There you go, that's Will Evans, the scorer of the second Newport County goal. What a moment for him. Graham Coughlin, as the manager has been saying, Stuart, that all through January when his phone has rung, he knows it's going to be about Will Evans. He's just ignored the calls, or as soon as they've mentioned Will Evans, he's put the phone down. He obviously wants to keep him here, but he couldn't have scored against bigger opposition today to highlight to anybody who doesn't know about him that he's got goals in him.
No, that's the side story about all these brilliant FA Cup games that you've got when sort of lower league teams or underdogs take on big teams. You've got an opportunity as an individual to showcase yourself. So, you know, credit to him. He's done himself and his reputation absolutely no harm whatsoever. But, you know, from Newport's point of view, if someone's got that many goals for you this season, you need to keep him here. If he's going to go, well, maybe he can go in the summer, but not before.
And very quickly, a goal and an assist for Anthony. Has he arrived finally on the scene, or has he just found his level?
Well, listen, let's not knock him. He's had an assist and he scored a goal. He's not scored for a long period of time, and it's important that he's sort of got himself for his own good on the score sheet, you know. So it's not an easy division to bed into, that is for sure. English football, and certainly when you come to Newport, they make it very difficult for you as well.
Stuart, enjoyed it. Thank you very
Brilliant.
much. It's been terrific. What a tie. United 2 up in 12 minutes, but then Newport struck twice. Bryn Morris released by Grimsby last summer. Will Evans, who was milking cows and playing in the Cymru Premier just a couple of years ago. And then a miracle happened. Anthony actually scored a goal. Hoyland added another in injury time. Newport won the Hearts. Manchester United, though, won the cup tie. If you want to have your say, final word is next on Talksport with Majestic and Ian Holloway. 03717 223344.